You were born ready. We know the drill. Right. Okay. So we're back. It's now on Tuesday. I'm sorry to anyone that was what's going on. We have to change things to Tuesday because someone got more casting jobs. Not his fault.
My fault. Yeah.
100%.
NATIVZ drama, all me.
Yeah, we'll just do it without you next. Sure, that'll go. So quick catch up. Session 1, we fought some soldiers, got out of our cage, escaped, met with some people, told we have to go do this and speak to Baron to try get released from our regicide, as far as I can remember. On the way there, we also fought bugbears, went there, and now we are
Owlbears.
owlbears, but same thing. I'm not really good at this. And then I'm trying to remember what we did. And then we went to talk to the Baron. He told us we're now submerged in a plot to overthrow the king and put a different king on the throne. And I believe now we're exploring the castle and surrounding areas.
Pretty much, yeah. You guys had some little to-do lists, I think, which was not limited to stealing books from a library and probably a little bit of thievery. But we shall see as you were all. Well, I'll move it to the castle map so everyone can see the lovely little castle Gagorich. So,
I think in the pair went to go rob books. I sent Illithor with him.
I believe you were bedding down for the night, and that was the plan for the next day.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
I think so. So you may all have a long rest as morning comes. It is a lovely, warm morning inside the castle, but probably pretty cold outside. Where's my music? There we go. Yeah, it's a nice change from the routine you guys have been stuck in to be waking up in comfy beds, warm fires, and servants pretty readily available should you require any, I don't know, spare changes of clothes.
Oh. We allowed to have outfits?
You can get outfits, sure.
I'll let someone else take charge.
Yeah, fancy attire is brought to you. Probably fancier than anything you've worn before. It looks like fine silks and what's the other freaking material called? Like I can't remember. But yeah, fancy clothes beyond your wildest dreams are brought to you pretty much.
Okay, that'll do.
All right.
I'm thinking I'm going to a church, so I'm going to go chill on.
I'm going to go find the training area and try and fight some guards with some chains and try and learn how to use these things in a more offensive manner.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure I followed him.
Yeah, you were going to follow him. That's right. So heading outside, it is much colder than inside, as expected. The gardens are huge. There's kind of like a forested area, a wide open area, and at the very, very far side of the inner wall is what looks to be this stone dome building that looks like it appears to be guarded. The guards are keeping an eye on you guys, making sure you're not straying too close to it.
Yeah. I'll kind of ask around, ask anybody if they, because we're not leaving today, right?
No, you're leaving whenever you guys are ready to
ready
leave. So you can spend a day here, you can spend 2 days here.
But we were, if I recall correctly, we were waiting for your man to show up, not Salvador. Salvador's the guy we're talking about. Berich, yeah. We were waiting for Berich to show up with guards to then make us look like not guards or not look like traders to then bring fake people to. Right, yeah.
We'd made requests of the steward for items.
Yeah, for extra some gear and I believe extra copies of the warrants for your arrest as well.
Fresh one.
Yep.
Oh, I don't need that. I would ask any person who would like to spar. I would have my giant sword on my back, with the chains kind of tucked up inside a cloak that I'd be wearing, just so that they're not openly visible as I walk around, because it looks kind of sketch. And as soon as they start to fight, as soon as anyone says yes, I would start to try and batter the living shit out of them with these chains.
Yeah, a few soldiers step up seeing this giant freaking satyr with chains around his wrists and armor. They wanna have a stab at the beast. So you get plenty of volunteers to train. Make me an all athletics check there just to monitor the progress for the day. I'll say make it an advantage as well because you're doing it
Okay.
over a period of time.
That's not better. Fucking
No,
Christ.
it is certainly not. 15. Right, you make decent progress anyway. Imitar, you want
Hello.
to go to investigate books, am I right?
I wanted to investigate any kind of books or scrolls that they had in the library, and definitely not steal any. Probably.
Make me an investigation check.
All right.
Sound like he's on it.
Yeah, he has
Yes.
his webcam mic set up as his main mic.
No, I have my actual mic on it.
On
Are you
Discord.
sure?
Oh, on Discord, do I?
Discord is definitely your webcam mic.
Yeah, it's definitely a different mic. But
Oh, fucking! It's been happening ever since. Oh, yeah. Better.
Much better.
Yeah, my computer keeps doing this on literally everything. It sets everything back to default for some reason.
That's odd. Hate to see that. 14. Okay. Anything in particular that you're looking for? I know you messaged me that one thing, but anything else?
That was obviously not going to be, but it's basically anything that has any relevance or any passing mentions of anything of outer like old gods or anything like demon related or anything like that.
There is a book called The Great Calamity and Where They Went Wrong, written by a Patrice de Porin, which is basically a book depicting how the ancient civilization that came before yours fell due to humanoids having expectations too high for themselves and trying to become gods, and were promptly humbled by the powers that be. I'll put the name in the chat if you do want to steal it or borrow it. I mean, take it on loan.
Can I attempt to steal it?
You want to just try pocket it? Make a sleight of hand check.
Here we go. This is gonna go hopefully okay.
12. The library is not too busy. It is largely a fortress. There's a librarian at the front, but you take that to some quiet reading area with a pile of other books, and no one's going to notice you come back with one short.
Just gonna pocket that for.
Absolutely. Anything else you'd like to look for while you're in there?
Let's think. Is there anything of like I know you said like outer beings, but they're like just gods in general, whether it's just like a list of like the gods that are known in this like whole area type of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me get it up for you anyway, because it would probably be like
just so I can
some
like
kind
see
of like
if
a
I can.
guide.
So like later on, if people are like, "Oh, I do this for this person," I can be like, "Oh, I know what that is," so I won't have to rely on Ian's great history checks.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
They have been pretty decent, to be fair. So the kind of there's 10 deities that are kind of worshipped everywhere in Morindow. But one or two of them are more specific to other areas. And then there's these as well.
Is it nice?
These ones in particular are kind of the relevant ones to the area of Doran. These are the not all of them
One
are
of those-
worshipped, but are known about or are feared or are worshipped in a more cult-like sense. Some of them.
Fair enough. Good to know.
Indeed. Brilliant.
I don't know if that would like if I was able to pocket a book like that as well, if it would help with like say for example people come along later that have alignments and that kind of thing instead of having to do history checks. I can
Potentially.
remind myself of like what kind of things are available.
Okay, I want you to do two things for me. First, make an investigation check again. Another one.
Mm-hmm.
16. Okay, and then another sleight of hand check for trying to pocket this book, I guess.
Okay.
Nice. Okay, this one disappears off the shelves. The librarian is actually convinced they might have misplaced it. And that's probably 4 weeks from now when they actually notice it's probably missing. So,
made it stop existing.
Yeah, it just disappeared from the god's eyes themselves. As you're kind of reading through deities, there's loads of names that just flash by and not really too relevant, but one name sort of sticks with you because you've heard it recently in the last like 30 years or so. It's a devil prince who was excommunicated from the Nine Hells called Gargoth. Spelled like Gargoth, like that. Who is said to be a being that instills trouble among society, and it's his goal to try and make things a bit more chaotic, or a bit more evil, maybe.
Not
But just another name that you chance upon that's just relevant to recent history.
I'll pocket that, and I'll try to figure out when people say that, so that way I can not tell anyone what it means, because no one will be able to realize what I say.
True.
It'll be like, I know that name, but it'll come out like just
Like,
because no one will know the other words unless I'm like, unless someone else has accidentally said them.
Demogorgon in this.
it is the Stranger Things ruined Demogorgons. I'm gonna say it. Demogorgon is supposed to be one creature, not a type of creature. It's a name. It's not a species or a race.
Only ever watched
It's just
Don't fight me.
I watched two.
A species or a race.
it's a person. It's a demon called Demogorgon, and they butchered that. A
Or the
fundamental D&D
Demogorgon.
mechanic.
That's
The
what it is, it's the same with
Demigorgon.
I assume it's the same with the Mind Flayer and stuff.
No, mind
Flayer?
flayers are a race. The Illithid, alternatively called. They
I
are.
forgot I didn't have my dictionary up. I need my dictionary. There we go.
They look very different how they're depicted in Stranger Things.
I
let
mean,
me show you a thing.
I'm pretty sure they use an actual manual. Like they pull out an actual D&D manual in Stranger Things when they first show the Mind Flayer.
They probably do, to be honest. This is what they're actually supposed to look like. They're like
Yeah, that's
humanoids
what they-
with like
yeah, that's what they
octopus
show, yeah.
heads. Yeah, okay.
That's what
yeah,
they show
yeah.
out of the book. But yeah, the Mind Flayer in the fucking show is this giant fucking shadow thing.
But it
Yep.
might be.
That's a
It looks
Demogorgon?
more like
It's not an
Vecna.
elder brain, is it?
I don't think it's an elder brain. The way they have it in the show is
I don't
weird.
know. I haven't watched. Um,
Vecna. They
As
did
in
Vecna a bit
inspiration.
of justice. Vecna could have been scary. Vecna's supposed to be an all-powerful god of the liches. But on that one, in Stranger Things, it was just kind of like... I could rant about how Stranger Things messed up D&D lore for ages. But back to the game.
Yeah.
Demogorgon looks really
And-
different on the D&D page.
Yeah.
It's like a two-headed
Yeah,
monkey.
the D&D Demogorgon would
should,
absolutely eviscerate anything in his path.
We should leave this for a either a real talk or a Saturday Night Live.
True.
The downfall of Stranger Things that I've never watched.
What's a stranger thing?
Exactly.
A satyr
Probably
thing.
some guy that you
Ian,
walk sort
Ian's mustache is a stranger thing.
Nice.
at
Ian's mustache is a tentacle of a mind flayer.
at some
This-
point.
Anything else about the mustache, lads? Like, we have 5 hours. Like,
I'm surprised you're allowed anywhere in town walking next to Kai with that thing on. To be honest.
Jesus.
Jesus.
At some point, Evan, would it be possible to?
I'm gonna lose my kneecaps tonight.
Yeah, he's gonna come up and start hitting you. No, I'm in
Um,
Canada. I'm safe.
reach for the people who raised me. Try and make a connection. I know they're far
Oh.
away, but I would like to just give an update, a general, just a. I'm finding progress. I'll keep you in loop, but I don't have a way of doing it, so I would just meditate on it for I don't know an hour. Feel like it's not
Gotcha.
working. Go off
Rom-
and find food.
Roll just a D100 for the hell of it.
Bang.
Nice.
That failed miserably.
that's like me trying
Yeah,
to reach out to
you
my
get
dad.
you get the idea to your head and you give it a shot, but you kind of just feel like you're talking to yourself.
Yep.
Whether or not you're heard, completely beyond your
Comprehension.
yeah
Sounds
right now
like-
anyway.
Gave you a headache
Uh,
or something.
can I-
Banging
was
my
just
head against the
saying-
wall.
Why is it not working?
Right, chips
I
a
would
horn.
I would just like to, when if possible, just kind of disguise myself as a normal person and just kind of walk around the castle so that I can listen into conversations and try and learn new words.
Oh yeah, okay.
Like
Can
just
I
like
walk?
in the
Can I walk
You
past
should-
him and like see if I even recognize him in his human form?
It's
Was as we're walking around the castle.
Yeah, give me 1 sec. There is a mechanic for that. I believe you need to make an investigation check, Celtic.
I do. Okay. Because I'm just
do
curious
I need to
if I
make,
notice
do I need
it's
to make a
him.
deception check?
Nope, it is against your spell
Investigation,
save.
right?
Yep.
Oh, that's shit. Okay, I don't notice.
Yeah, you do not recognize him. Just another
Okay, fair enough.
commoner wandering around the castle. There aren't too many commoners, but you say maybe 4 or 5 throughout the course of the day.
Can I just make? I don't know if it makes any sense, but kind of like what Euthalok did, where I just kind of roll the dice to see how successful I am with learning new words.
Oh yeah, make me just an intelligence.
Just an intelligence one.
Yeah.
Is that the base intelligence one, right?
Yeah, just the base intelligence. Yeah, that's the one.
Oh well, that didn't go well.
You pick up a few words that are repeated, like guards and castle and
That one might be
What you
baron.
already know.
Surely
about it. Those-
weather.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, weather, cold.
Yeah, all he
I can
learns
now
is
say how. Oh my god, I can now say how's the weather.
yeah, all he learns is small talk. All he learns is small talk.
oh fuck Christ.
He seems to think. I think he should actually think great drying out is a greeting. Just walk up to people. "Ah, great drying out.
Weather's nice today.
Weeb's literally gonna come, you know, you're Irish when. All he's gonna do.
I'm really annoyed because as I was rolling the dice, it rolled over a 17 at the last second, and I'm pissed.
Ooh, a classic.
Oh well, that's my incredible.
At least
I'm good at
intelligence
stealing,
matches
but I'm
IRL.
terrible at intelligence. Like I literally have a +6 to sleight of hand and deception, and stealth.
Yeah, you got the lying and sneaking all
I
under.
just don't have the intelligence to back it up.
Yeah.
I don't have the deception. I can't lie for shit because I'm socially awful. But sleight of hand and
How are
Just
you?
sleight of
I
hand
don't think
and
anyone can be
stealth
more socially
+7.
awful. Do you think it's possible to be more socially awkward than a person who can't actually say real words?
I've met you in real life, Weeb. Yes, it is possible.
Yeah, it is.
Very, very possible to be more awkward. Yeah. Anyway, next question.
So throughout the day, as all of you do your various things, at one stage, Berich does arrive with this woman mage is with him, and he brings with him some of the supplies you guys asked for that they didn't have on hand, as well as a fresh copy of the arrest warrants, again signed and stamped by that same General Bertzal. But among the supplies he brings you are 2 regular health potions, or 2 standard ones.
Hmm.
No, overall.
Oh.
I think we need to get
What
one
else
of
was
those
asked?
hats that you can like get the straw. With,
I'd
like, the
looked
double beer
for
ones,
yew
for health
leaves
potions.
and holy water.
Yes. So you get about 200 gold pieces worth of holy water, so quite a lot of holy water. And yew leaves as well.
Items.
Do we get any rations each?
The ration. They wouldn't have brought the rations, but the rations are freely available there when you're leaving to be bagged up and tossed into your sacks.
Odd request, and I kind of forgot about it until this point. But while they're giving a hand and stuff out, is it possible to get like lock picks,
Like a thieves toolset?
or even just like something small? Because like if we're going to be, although we are going to be pretending to be guards, I would still like to have one on me in case we somehow get locked up.
Make me a persuasion check.
Okay. Persuasion. Fuck.
That's not bad. One of the guards, as you're kind of asking around, says, "I believe we kind of nabbed a set off of some fella passed through here a few days ago. He wasn't supposed to have them, but I mean, just given the nature of the quest you're going to be on, sure, you may as well take them." And he hands you a pretty rusted set of thieves' tools, but they'd function once or twice at least.
Is there any way that you could like increase the durability or make them better? Or
I could probably take it as like a blacksmith, but there
No,
wouldn't
that's
be
fine.
handy in the
I'll take
castle
the
anyway.
I'll take the shitty thieves steals and use mending on them. It's fine.
Yeah, that'll clean off some of the rust on them for sure. Sick. But yeah, no, that'll work, no problem at all. It's they look like pretty solid set of tools. Back to their original state, which was a reasonable quality. So is there any other bits people would like to do?
I don't think so. Is the guy that we talked to here?
The Baron or the his son?
Barsh.
Yeah, the guy we talked to beforehand.
Yeah, he just arrived with you guys' supplies and stuff.
I wonder what he thinks of our current decision then. Or is
As you make an insight check, actually.
Oh god, I'm not great with this, but yeah, not great.
9. Yeah, as he arrives, he kind of just pays you guys little to no attention, pretending as if he has never met you before.
Which he technically isn't meant to have. So.
Yep. Precisely.
What's the chances Imitar says, "Oh, hello, Birch"?
Oh my god, I do actually know his name.
My name is Barrett.
I just turn around. Hello, my name Barrett.
Name Birch.
Can't imagine he'd be like enjoying that.
Wait, are you still in your disguise, or are you chilling now?
Still in disguise.
Okay, that makes it worse for him, I guess.
Because I'm just a guy. He probably thinks I'm a retard or something.
So, no last bits anyone would like to get done?
I don't believe so.
Cool. So the day comes and passes, evening comes in. Do you guys? What is your plan? Are you planning on leaving tomorrow or staying another day, or?
Is everybody available?
Like, you can all gather somewhere if you wish.
Could we like leave? I thought we were waiting on someone to arrive.
Yeah, it was Berich and the mage arrived earlier in this day.
Okay. I mean, I'm
So-
down to go.
Who's doing laps at a castle?
Someone's sprinting around.
I mean, if we've got nothing else to do here, I don't see the point in staying.
Yeah. We just group up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's gotten their
Sleep
business
one
done,
last night and then get
head out
ready
and-
to go.
Yeah.
We have to dress
Okay.
up in
Okay.
guard uniform though, right?
Yeah, that'll all be supplied for you. Well, actually, at some stage during today, you probably would have been sized up roughly for some fishing gear.
Okay. Do I get a guard
as-
armor or?
Not yet, but you will.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It'll be supplied to you in the morning. Like they have to source it.
Yeah.
So the evening comes. You guys have your dinner. Do whatever amenities you might like to do. When you notice, shortly, maybe an hour or two after dinner, probably 7 or 8 o'clock in the evening, lots of the guards, sort of like in a hurry, start to grab some weapons and seem to just leave very quickly as a bell kind of rings out through the castle.
I look over. Where are you going?
There's trouble at the front gate. You're welcome to watch. One of the
Or
soldiers continues on.
join in?
If things escalate, we could do with some extra hands.
I immediately just start running.
I'm gonna follow, but like a little bit behind you, just kind of like stand on the side.
Almost skipping.
I again go, oh, for fuck's sake, and just follow him.
What room are we in? Where are we in the castle?
Probably just in like the grand hall, just chilling there, I guess, as a group.
More than likely eating. That's
Yeah,
what I do.
pretty-
Oh God, which god are you eating?
No. I'm eating free stuff. Free things are always good.
Except free food. Say nothing else.
Well, depending on who you kill, it's free. Sometimes you get paid.
I'll pay you to eat me.
I'll skip. Yeah, I'll just go skip. See what's going on.
Alright, so as you're charging to the front gate, you see the Baron is also heading to the front gate with 4 kind of guards in like a square around him. There appears to be someone shouting from the wall out to what sounds like multiple figures outside the main gate, which has been shut, and you notice guards immediately starting to reinforce it as well, as if they are on high alert.
What's the quickest way up? I suppose follow the
yeah.
Baron. The Baron's gonna make
Yeah,
the
the
decision.
Baron walks up. He kind of gives you a nod as you approach, and he looks over the fence. Looks over the wall. You peeking over as well?
Absolutely.
While
Make a
he's
perception
perception check. Yeah, anyone there,
I'm with
feel free to
him,
make a
and-
perception check.
Yeah, I'm
is-
with
while
him as
he's
well.
doing that, can I like slink away and examine like
Ooh, okay.
alternative escape routes if it starts to go down now?
Damn, we all
Yeah.
rolled pretty well.
Wait, me and Youth are both rolled a 19.
Yep.
Very good.
Love that for us.
Make me an investigation check looking for the alternative escape routes. 13, yeah. So there's the main gate, which is kind of it's actually two gates in the front. But there is, you would assume, as per most castle designs, a gate at the very back as well, behind what looks to be this huge stone dome that the guards seem to be protecting. Maybe because it's an entrance, or the stone dome is just of particular interest. But either way, those of you that were looking over the wall, you see what looks to be a company of maybe 40, 45 soldiers with the actual Doran crests, and another sort of heavier armored individual at the front with a long gold cape this time, which to those of you familiar with the Doran Empire would suggest to you that he is a general, a big step up above a captain. And he calls out onto the gate, Baron Salvador of the Tryon region. It has come to the attention of the king that a number of his prisoners escaped from their convoy to Kazkul while in your region less than a week ago. 10 guards and 1 captain were murdered, according to a report. We have reason to believe that they might have ended up in your custody, as First Ranger Berich has reported to be in the general vicinity during the time of the incident. Do you have anything to declare? And the Baron kind of thinks for a moment before responding. I thought you might say as much. My deepest condolences to the men who have fallen, and to any among your ranks who knew them. I am truly sorry, but I regret to inform you that justice might have to wait. These crimes were committed in my region, in the Tryon, and thus I am in the process of having the incident investigated thoroughly. When I have something to report, General, you'll be the first to know. The General nods. That's why I bring with me a warrant to search Castle Gugorch, signed off by His Majesty himself. Or do you mean to open the gate immediately, or we will be forced to breach these walls? The Baron kind of takes a step back for a moment. Looks to you guys. Are you comfortable? Do you think you can surpass a search, or will we send him away? Because trust me, we can send him away.
I mean, if we send him away, it kind of gives the wrong impression, but also in like a week or two, everything's going to go tits up anyway.
He is overstepping his jurisdiction here.
Ah, true.
The king is, or
Well, the king is technically breaking rules by doing this, but nothing that would ever hold up. But the general has no right to search in here.
even with a warrant?
Is there any way that, like, obviously a lot of us are quite recognizable with a giant fae, or a very large man, a dragon, an elf, and, well, I'm human at the moment, so that doesn't really count.
Is that god armor available? Has it been
I
fitted yet?
couldn't tell you. I would assume not yet, but I'm sure
I
we
was
could
going
put
to
something
say-
together.
I was going to say I could potentially do that. What's in the giant stone dome?
Our means of getting this polite general to fuck off.
I was going to say we could hide in it potentially, but
You could swap place with his current residences.
oh, residences. Ooh.
A residence.
Now I'm
he
just
looks-
curious.
He like thinks for a second more and nods. Now, General, no need for such violent discussions. We have our own protocols in the Tryon region, and I will not see them overruled by someone from the capital where they have no right to do so. And I would hate for there to be any, well, miscommunication here. It would be tragic if some people were to hear a story where individuals that we mistook for ruffians pretending to be Kingsguard attempted to breach my castle. Tragic how they would have lost their lives and found their way to the bottom of my moat, never to be seen again. Or perhaps they never even reached the castle in the first place. You
There's
see
been a
some
lot
of
of
the,
owlbears around.
some of the soldiers kind of give like a, oh, he means business. Oh, we might have a fight in our hands. The general shouts back up from below. You threatened the warden of his capital and his men. I'll have your head on a pike for that, you bastard baron. I brought with me 12 of my best men, alongside 32 individuals more than ready to lay down their lives. And they would waste a company 10 times the size of anything you have in here.
Can I try
The
to pick
ba-
out the 12 people that he claims are like the best and make a mental note, please?
Yeah, what's you making your... Oh, yeah, you got a 20. Yeah, not
Yeah,
hard
you
to
as
see.
well.
There we go.
Cool. No, no.
I'm
Just
bo-
for just
I'm-
it's just for later.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
there,
bo-
are,
I'm
I
with
know
him
who's
as
at the
well.
head first.
there are 12 individuals that stand closest to him that have capes as well, but not as... they're not gold capes. 6 of them have blue ones, and 6 of them have green ones. You've seen the green ones before. Captain Lord Berich wore one. Probably implies they're a ranger of the realm.
Okay.
And the blue ones, you're not sure.
Okay.
But
Cool. Nope. Just adding it to the snack list.
I swear to God, man.
the
If they're dead, they're
Baron-
dead.
the Baron smiles once more as the general below is starting to escalate the situation. Good. I would hate to only have a force 10 times the size of what you think I do. And he whistles once, and you see the stone dome. The roof of it is kind of more wooden logs and branches, almost like it's tried to be camouflaged from above. And as the Baron whistles, there is like a croak, a really loud croak that sort of echoes throughout the castle grounds, and a sound of almost like a leathery sound, you could say, as 2 shadowy figures against the darkening sky lurch out from inside it, breaking the sort of wooden protective roof and fly towards the front gate, landing on either side of this force of 40 men. You see what appears to be 2 winged creatures, 2 legs, decently sized, maybe 20 to 25 feet. These are fully grown wyverns. And the general's men kind of freeze, weapons at the ready, pointed at these creatures. And the Baron shouts down, "Be on your way, dear general, and let the dear king know that the Tryon region is investigating the matter very seriously. A report will be drawn up in tandem with this shocking threat made by the king's warden, and I can assure you it will find its way to the king himself." The general nods. "Back it up, men. This fight will happen another time. The capital will hear of what transpired here today." And the guards start to retreat, or the general and his men start to retreat a little bit on their horses before eventually turning around and riding away. And the Baron whistles again, and the wyverns jump up over the castle wall and fly back towards their little stone dome. And he turns to you all.
Who's the off, fam? Sorry.
Sorry about that. A little interruption there. Nothing but a setback that won't be any sort of an issue. I suppose that does mean we do have to expedite things, though. Are you ready to leave in the morning?
Of course. Beautiful creatures, though. How does one train such things to be so obedient?
It involves raising them and conditioning them. For most of my life, these have been my project. There's more than 2 of them, by the way. I won't say exactly how many, but I pride myself in being the owner of a sanctuary for such beautiful creatures.
Yes. Very odd that you're able to. I've seen these creatures fly around my home realm. They're
Nice
very,
seduce one.
No.
I'm half
very,
dragon, so
very difficult creatures. Beautiful. Right.
thought
And
you
I
fell off
wander
because
back
of
down.
Stephen's penis and something.
it was an honest question. I'm half dragon. I'm just wondering.
Oh yeah, no, it's valid. So Dragonborn and dragons don't have a good history at all. Dragonborns were essentially created out of humans that were slaves to the dragons. A colony of humans was overtaken once upon a time, and Dragonborns are kind of what resulted from that ownership, I guess. So some Dragonborns still hold a grudge, some don't. But
I
dragons.
just thought I had a very brave dad.
Yeah, no, a half dragon, quite different from a dragonborn. Let me tell you.
Just saying, I thought he was very brave. That's where
He
I got
might
it
still
from.
have been. It'd be even more impressive if it was the mom that was the brave one.
Yeah, there's videos on the internet
Well,
for that kind
some
of thing.
dragons can shapeshift. Let's leave it at that.
That is true. The Baron looks at you. Would you be ready to leave in the morning, potentially?
Oh, I would leave now.
I believe so.
Why don't
We
we
well,
chase
could
them down?
leave now.
You will be beating them to the capital either way, as we have arranged teleportation for you to
Oh,
arrive.
Oh, nice.
that's woo. I've never. Oh, it's been a while. Woo-hoo. Right, you are in for a treat, guys. And I wander off and prepare to go.
Well, if you're ready to leave on this evening, then I'll alert Kasana and get Beric immediately ready to depart alongside your imposters.
Sounds good to me.
Indeed.
All right, so he.
And I question the Baron, like, why the hell were you so aggressive if we're gonna teleport us as if we were already captured? Why are you poking the bear?
Are you asking him, or are you trying to read it off him?
Pretty much, I'd ask him, like,
Ask him, yeah. No,
what-
he'll
what
answer.
if we're going to appear 10 minutes after we turned him away, why not just tell him, oh, my man teleported with these prisoners 10 minutes ago?
Well,
In
we're gonna
truth.
we're gonna get there before them, so they won't be able to report to the king before we get there.
Oh yeah, but my point is he'll be like, oh, 7 days ago he turned us away. Oh, what a coincidence. They showed up exactly 7 days ago.
In truth, what I did there wasn't exactly against the rules. It is my responsibility to adhere to any kind of murders or law breaking in my realm. That mixed with the fact that I just generally dislike General Rickard, that individual you just met, and will obviously jump at any opportunity to intimidate him that I can get.
Dick measuring contest.
Precisely, and I don't think he has wyverns on his side.
His dick doesn't have a wing. He's a
What?
snake.
So are we to understand Imitar's dick has precisely one wing sticking out the side?
That didn't start with that either. That's a fucking growth. That's a fucking the sort of mole growing on that fucking thing. A wing and a fucking thumbprint.
Some screw and mushrooms in the forest.
Last time someone fucking used that thing was the fucking 90s, man.
He's alive.
Wait, when are you born, Weeb?
In 2001.
And? There's an and at the end of that?
You've said
Damn!
this about 5 times.
Damn, I'm old. Shit. Fuck. Damn.
Oh, fuck's sake.
It doesn't start with a 1.
So,
The fuck?
before we kind of teleport and stuff, I'll kind of try and find everybody together, and just kind of sit down in front of everybody. Are we prepared to lie, deceit, fool, slay a king?
Kill the king.
Kill the king, yes. Is everybody prepared to do that?
I'm going back to church.
Kagra,
Yeah.
it's good to be lawfully good, to adhere to the rules, to understand and
Have a moral compass.
have a moral compass. Well, your moral compass would be different to my moral compass, but the
Your moral compass, you cook people on it.
understanding, it works as a good spit. You
Even Evan pulled a face with that one. What?
you have to realize that the king is not a good man. He has potentially been a really horrible person to a large group of people, including his brother. He's not been lawful.
This is true, but I'm more scared of the fact that in us doing what we have set out to do, it will cause more violence and bloodshed to people that don't need it. It's
Well-
going to cause more fighting within the capital and all the surrounding areas. So even though we're removing one bad person, we're causing more people to be dealt a bad hand and might get killed by armies that might try to oppose the new king.
But
Welcome
There
to
are
the
always
real world,
there is
pal.
always regicide
But-
everywhere. That is
Nick,
perhaps the real problem. But
Nick Hagra, who do you fight for? Yourself or the realm?
I fight for, I can't remember the name. Hold on. Evan sent me the name of my god. Hold on real quick.
Oh, Athalas.
Atlas, that's the one. I fight for Atlas.
do I know anything about Athalas?
I
Make
know.
a religion check.
Is my book on hand? Where's my book?
We all make a
Oh yeah,
religion check.
he is actually. I think he's mentioned in your little book.
He
Where's the
is.
little
He's not
book?
given a name though. He's giving Athalas blank.
Mhm.
Atholus. How do you spell it?
Athelus.
Oh, the lesser deity. I do know that guy.
He is the a patron deity of chromatic dragons.
Wait, when he says
Typically-
that, can I pull out the book and point to the thing because I can't actually say anything, so I just point.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, Atholus.
I see.
Yeah. You see his name beside the likes of Bahamut and Tiamat, two other sort of draconic deities on the list as well.
I see. Interesting. You need to be prepared to break a few rules to set a good few good rules. When we break these rules, what your objective should be at the end of these rules is to make sure that no one gets hurt after. If you become that voice when we break these rules, you can do your best to stop it, but you're not going to be able to stop everything. And I brandish a dagger. Where I'm from, rules are made to be broken.
I really want to hit you with the quote because we're talking about books and stuff now. The one from The Simpsons, I was born to lead, not to read. But I have my character's way too much wisdom for that one. Why is all the Simpsons references coming back now? I'm trying to think of a good answer because I don't want to give away too much about me.
And I'll slide the dagger across the table. It'll come in handy. Just know that a little bit of evil helps you be a lot more good. And I stand up and go prepare myself to teleport.
Can I throw the knife? Not to hit him, but fly past him.
You're aiming purposely to miss. I think Evan might have DC'd again. Oh wait, there we go.
My internet, I don't know what's up with that.
That would be
You
difficult.
can make a dex check. What are you aiming for?
I'm just aiming to throw it past him.
Past him, sure. Yeah, you make a dex check.
Is teleporting in D&D like strenuous? You know, like in some versions.
Not
if
for
you
you
do-
guys.
That's a
That's
dexterity
right.
save.
Oops,
As
I
in,
think it's the same
not
for
like
him.
Harry Potter where you feel like you're getting twisted around and you can vomit afterwards, kind of.
Depends how good the teleporter is.
Yeah, if it's your first time, it might be a little shaky. It's definitely something you can get used to, and for whoever's casting it, which is you would assume going to be the woman mage who brought Beric here, probably a higher level spell. Yeah, I mean it's not a great throw character, but it lodges itself in a door frame.
I suppose hearing him throw it, could I activate my cloud room to pick it up in the air and just slam it right back into the table
Sure.
right in front of him? Just look and say, just look, nod, and keep going.
I've gotten up with Uther and
You can't-
walked off.
You can't
Can I?
use the cloud rune on something that didn't hit or wasn't intending to hit, correct?
I've
Cool,
spent
cool.
I've spent the last like 20 minutes, and while everyone is preparing, just slugging the ale into me. Like I'm done with this shit. Just get
Can I
me
just,
drunk
like-
for the night.
As I'm getting up behind, like, from the table with everyone else, I'm just gonna go. Alright, good man, too many rolls, and then leave.
Hang on, I think my Facebook might just have been hacked.
Wait,
Oh,
really?
Jesus, you're getting
I don't know. I just got immediately. Yeah, I got logged in from Ukraine.
nice.
On where?
Wait, what?
Ukraine.
Them damn Russians.
God damn.
Nice one.
They logged into what though? What system?
Facebook.
My Facebook.
So useless.
So give me
Alright.
1 moment.
I haven't used Facebook in years. I've been meaning to get rid of mine.
I use Messenger. I don't use Facebook.
Yeah,
but-
Messenger.
The
Messenger's
only
great.
reason I have messengers for my mom, and that's it.
I haven't used Messenger in about 4 years, 5 years. So I'm thinking I might just. But the issue is I have to go through my Facebook and remove everything manually and then delete the account. Because if you don't know, Facebook terms of service, if you deactivate your account or delete your account and don't delete all the photos off it, they can still use all your photos.
Yep. Unlikely they will, but yeah, they can.
I'm gonna say none of us are good looking enough for that. Sorry, lads. Myself included.
So has he used the cloud rune yet, or can I say something now?
The cloud rune. Let me double check one thing about the cloud rune.
Because I don't think because they didn't aim for him, it should work.
No,
unless
it's
he's protecting
it
the
does
door.
it specifically doesn't work on if it's aimed at him. It only works for other things.
Stuff in the
So
air.
it works for this. It works for this purpose.
You can still say what you want to say.
What I was gonna
I'm
say
trying to
is-
make peace.
I actually have a quote for this. I actually went and got quotes. The most demeaning thing you can do to the law that we should respect, creating and administrating a law that is unworthy of protection.
So I heard this and immediately grabbed another ale and just fuck's sake and down
Can I go
another
grab
ale
one with you,
because
even though I don't drink?
You just
Can
try
I,
some
can
can
I-
I,
instead
can I
of.
man,
like
I'm
roll
just-
to copy him? My character never drinks anything. Can I just roll to copy what he's doing?
You can just copy it. Yeah.
Can we
Noting
find
the
out
fact
whether
that
he can we find
I-
out whether he likes it or not though? I want to know if he spits it
or,
out.
or like if my character has any tolerance to
Make
it
a
either.
constitution check.
Check or save.
Check.
Please be low.
I want to know if he likes it.
11.
I thought that was
You hold it. It's not pleasant, but you do hold it.
I look over and go, "How you
Should I
taking
do
this?"
want to see if I'm starting to get a bit tipsy because I'm just like I'm a grumpy bastard at the best of times, and these two having a philosophical debate has just made me want to be too drunk to remember this shit.
Yeah, you're not immediately too drunk.
Okay.
Okay, as me and Euthor are leaving the room, he's obviously getting a bit tipsy. I just kind of like turn around. Can I just like, because I know he's drunk, can I cast a minor illusion right in front of him? Just like a tiny little thing on the table that was like I want to just like cast like a butterfly flying around his head or something, like something that only he can see.
Yeah, you could absolutely do that. How do you think you would react to that yourself?
Well, if I thought it was real, I would be like fucking swatting invisible flies trying to kill
Yeah.
this annoying little bastard.
You definitely think it's real.
Okay. So yeah, I'm like swatting at it, and if anybody gives me a funny look, I'd be like, "The fuck are you looking at?"
Oh no, its price tag fell off.
Unless it was one of these, which I know, and I'd be like, "Fucking thing,
Off.
you see this shit?"
This little annoying bastard wouldn't leave me alone.
Assuming everyone can see it, of course, in my position.
Bear with me a moment, gentlemen.
His Facebook's still hacked.
Yeah, I'm just setting up 2FA again. Just making sure
Alright.
it's still working.
Does minor illusion can I make it so that only one person can see it, or is it just an
no,
illusion in an
everyone.
area?
Yeah, an
Everyone
illusion,
can see it,
everyone else
okay.
can see it. Other people might be able to differentiate that it is an illusion, and
You
Okay.
maybe
have
also
to-
get some comedic relief from the situation.
I think so, yeah, because you have to make a save.
It's just
on
in
this.
it's in an area of
Yeah,
in a
you have
5-foot
to
cube.
you have to make an intelligence check to see if it's real.
Me?
Yeah, investigation check.
Investigation, yeah.
If anyone.
Oh
I'll
god.
look because I'm right next to
Yeah,
him.
I
so
must
I'll
be
have a look.
tipsy.
he doesn't think it's
I
real.
100% think this is real.
Oh my god, I got a really like. So he's flopping at something. I'm just looking at him like, what are you doing? Because he has no idea. He think I'm just because I like clearly I got 17, so I'm guessing that means I clearly see that this thing is not real. I'm like,
Oh you can see through it.
I'm just like, why are you swatting at invisible butterfly?
What do you mean invisible? It's a fucking butterfly.
By this point, by this point, me and Uther have already left, and Uther are just like arguing over a butterfly that doesn't exist.
Yep. I'm hoping to get this drunk man to increase my vocabulary of swear words.
So when he said fake, I just take a second look and just go, fuck's sake. And like, where are we supposed to be headed? Are we headed to the teleport thing?
Yeah, we're leaving now.
Are you sure teleport
Yeah.
is real? You might be seeing things.
And with that,
kill
I'm
that
just
turtle.
walking away.
Hi,
Angry,
invisible man.
scowling at any commoners or servants that even dare to look at me.
I wouldn't want to look at you either. And then I just follow him out of the room.
Okay, I think we're all in the clear. Right, so
As we've
Who
been
cast
moaning about
curse
Battlefield.
on Uther? Turned him into a fish.
Funniest shit I've ever seen.
that's gonna sit very well with them, I'm sure.
A giant
so,
man got turned into a fish.
are
Bingo,
there
baby.
any last little bits anyone would like to do before hitting the road? I guess, or hitting the
Steal more
ley
alcohol.
lines.
I think everybody's heading to the teleporter.
All
Yeah,
right,
everybody
brilliant.
in maybe. Unless he's already wandered off.
Me and
so,
Uther are already at the teleporter. Yeah.
Yeah, you and Uther are at the two of you are at the teleporter where well maybe three of you when you see what looks to be a company of individuals dressed in clothes not very similar to yours but similar enough, and some individuals that bear resemblance to you guys. There is like a blue dragonborn, but he's not as buff as Kagra is. He's a little bit more scrawny. There are two satyrs, but both of them are a little smaller. None of them is like large as Utherlock. One of them is tattooed, similar to Utherlock's got his runes on him. There is a bird-like creature, but it doesn't really look much like Imitar. And there are two humanoid / elven-looking individuals as well to fill in the gaps. If you didn't have precise description of you guys, these guys would probably fit. And to what is available from the arrest
Surrounding
warrants,
region.
they do seem pretty spot on.
When we showed up and we were given like the choice, did he say there was his soldiers that were going to pose as us, or that he had stand-ins?
Soldiers is what he said. So you can
Just-
assume these guys are probably military trained in some way.
I'm just more thinking, what are the chances he had a blue dragon born? Would that be common?
Not too. I bet it'd be like as common as like I don't know, someone like probably someone with
Someone
dyed blue hair.
uncommon.
Someone uncommon. That is common as someone uncommon. No, it'd be like seeing someone with blue hair. Like it's
Not
not.
suspicious that he was able to
not
fight
blue
Blue hair.
stand-ins.
He's one
No,
of
it's
them.
not
Get him.
I'm a
He's
very,
one
in
of
case you haven't
many
figured it out,
pronouns do
I
you
am
have?
incredibly cynical.
Ninja is definitely a blue dragonborn in real life.
I wouldn't put that on blue dragonborns. Most of their wives
Um,
still wear bras.
Brutal. Okay, so the rest of you gather. There is the company of individuals matching you guys. there is Beric, the first ranger of the Tryon region, and there is the woman mage Kasana, whose name seems to be. She's like a little bit younger than middle aged, maybe in like her early 30s, late 20s. Like black hair, pretty young looking, human as well. And she just waits for the go signal as you guys get all your stuff together. The armors and stuff are brought to you. They're expedited, and you guys are basically just presented with them to change into before teleporting.
What type of armor are they?
It is similar to whatever you guys had on. So I think for you it was a breastplate,
Spiked. I had spiked armor.
spiked armor.
If it changes to breastplate, I'm fine with that. I think it's the same.
Yeah, I was wearing like leather.
I think I just had
Yeah.
leather on as well, along with my
I'm just
cloak.
wearing a. I was just wearing a dress. So does my armor go up because I'm wearing armor?
No, you are given different robes.
Okay.
Sort of something that has this like a circular blue crest on it, with stars and what looks to be almost like it's a bad description, but like an X's and O's board where it's like 2 lines down and 2 lines across with stars in the background.
Should we?
Almost
should we
like a weave.
Should we be moving our original clothes to backpack and like?
Yeah, if you want to
dark
keep them on,
bits?
you probably should do that.
If you're doing that in D&D Beyond, it actually does not affect it. But
Oh yeah, you can just leave it there if you want.
Okay, yeah.
if you just untick it, if you are actually changing armor, then that basically has it turned off. If you get me.
I don't actually have a tick on the clothes. It's a dash.
Oh well, like traveler clothes.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
don't
I'm
worry about
mentioning
that.
it.
That's just like
Grand.
role play.
Should we be adding the armor though? Like the weight, does that affect anything?
You could add the weight. Yeah, you add the second set of armor. The weight probably won't change. You guys are pretty hefty.
Well, if anyone
pretty
needs
strong.
me to carry anything, I can.
Yeah,
So,
that's true as well. Yeah,
Like I'm not saying no to lifting
and
your shit
technically
if you
these
need it.
individuals are your prisoners. If you wanted to give them a chest with some of your stuff in it, they would be obliged to hold it for you.
Could I potentially wander up to which of the 2 satyrs looks like me and is like the one that's meant to be me?
Hard to tell. They both look quite similar. But looking at one of them, you see he does have what looks to be like jewelry on his wrists. That's almost like a designed chain rather than a chain
Yeah,
that you've literally
chain.
just broken out of.
I'll like go and look at his tattoos. Okay. Very nice.
Yeah.
And then
He
just
kind of
wander
square
away.
up to you and flexes a little bit, but he is tiny in comparison to you.
Just kinda
your
grab
head
the
and half
hand.
taller than-
Grab the hand and like just like inspect where my rune would be, but it's not on his. I'm like, okay, and then like look at where he has tattoos and like just make like mental notes and go, it might work, and then just walk away.
You got it. All right.
Can I walk over to like my fake one, and I pull out like a larger robe and just wait? Over your face more.
The bird person kind of looks at you. Very different shape to like. Kenku are sort of trending to look like certain birds, whereas whatever this guy is looks like something else. Some of you would know him to be called an Arakokra or an Arakokra, a different kind of bird person. He has sort of darkish blue feathers as he kind of looks at you rather than the blacker or almost, I guess, maybe navy or purpley-esque ones you've got on. As if you're wearing them, you've got on. But he, again, a vague description, probably similar to you. But he also tries to look at you, and as you speak in your mimicry way, he just says, "What the fuck's your problem, mate?"
Fake. And then walk
Sure,
off.
that's. He has like a confused look of like, that's the point of this.
My guy's idiot.
I'm kind of looking at my fake as well. Is it like a human that looks like an elf? Is it an actual elf?
The one that's imaged after you is a half elf.
Half elf. So they wouldn't be from the same place as me.
Unlikely, but you never know.
Okay, no, that's good. I can tell if can I tell he's a half elf just by looking at him?
Yeah, he's definitely got more humanoid features than elvish features, but he's still got the kind of slightly pointed ears and just slightly off-colored eyes,
So
almost cat-like. All right, so as you all finish donning your armors and different robes, and the prisoners are kind of all chained up together, carrying whatever leftovers you guys have, Kasana begins to cast the spell, and about 10 minutes go by. This almost like pillar of light appears on the ground, and one by
Sorry,
one.
did you
Hmm?
say Kasana?
I did say Kasana.
That's not. That's not Kasana from that ran away. Kasana.
Well, you two. doesn't
You
know,
two
but the
wouldn't know.
ages-
This is CJ trying to
the
recall.
ages. The ages would line up.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Continue.
So
Is this a
The-
Marvel post-credit scene we're meant to know, or
it's
This is
like
this
a
is
cameo
last.
or an
This
Easter
is
egg,
last
maybe.
campaign. Shit. Put it that way.
So the sort of like a pillar of light opens 10-foot radius, a large area of this room, and she kind of gestures for you all to step into it. I guess one by one, you all do
Me and
so,
you-
and she.
Yeah, I was gonna say me and you three. I'm pretty sure I've teleported before, so we're very keen to just walk straight into it.
Yeah, you guys know what you're doing.
I would
For
almost
those of
argue
you-
plane shifting and teleporting are different. Same
Yeah,
concept.
elements, elements
yeah.
the same, elements are different. Sure. Stepping through, those of you that are not familiar with it, it feels as if your legs are being swept out from beneath you, as if almost like a force is pulling you really, really fast, but with a grip towards the bottom rather towards the center of gravity. And you have to kind of catch yourselves as you stand now in a pretty stone, darkish room, almost shaped like like a dome. Yeah, I guess like a dome. No windows, designs and patterns of arcane ruins all along the walls. And as you all arrive, a group of close to 20 of you, with the imposters and Beric and the Kasana who steps in at the very end, a series of what first appear to be guards charge up to you. You hear the clinks of armor, and you notice though, no, they don't have weapons. Instead, they hold their hands up, and different sort of arcane elements start to spring to life in their hands. Some balls of like purple energy, flames, 4 individuals total, sort of prepare spells as they look at you, and one of them says, "Speak your purpose. Why do you visit the
Can I
Adorial
check?
Tower?"
can I check
Mhm.
what they're trying to use against us?
Make an Arcana check, sure.
Well, that's fucking retarded.
That's not a great roll.
Ruh-roh, Ruggy.
I'm annoyed because that's like a thing I'm meant to be good at.
Yeah, sure, it happens. The heat of the moment. We'll say you don't get a
Okay.
good look at it.
I'll say I'm too busy kind of wobbling over because I'm too busy from being teleported.
Yeah, that's actually a good way of doing it. You don't notice exactly what they're doing, but they are ready to spring into action should the need be. But Beric holds his hands up and says, "We are here on the business of the king. We come from the Tryon region, bringing prisoners with us. We seek a meeting with either the king or one of his generals to schedule a trial." And the mages sort of take out their energies, relax a little bit, and one of them does like a brief symbol on one of the walls, and this doorway just slides open. Very cool to see. And outside, it is nighttime at this stage. It's probably about 10 o'clock in the evening. Well, 10 o'clock at night. And they lead you out of this little teleportation chamber into what you see to be a courtyard just outside this massive, massive tower. One single tower, no buildings attached to it. Just this beautiful black stone, really, really fancy architectural, like windows and banners hanging out of it. Some Doran banners, some unique ones, and most notably ones that bear resemblance to the symbol that Valwara now has on their robes. But the mages sort of say, right, we'll prepare boats and such. So you have teleported to, I guess we'll do a different. Well, we do it. Kind of draw a line, draw a shape. I guess I can draw a shape.
We're not on your map.
We're on a map. We're on
You're on
the,
Doran,
the
right?
castle map.
No,
Oh,
we're
no,
not
you're
on Dorn. We're on the
whoops.
castle
There you
still.
go. Oh, so we like
Where are we?
this.
Good old
Bang.
Adorial.
Can I twist this? You're really not going to let me twist that? Really? Okay. I'll just draw a line then.
It's a teleporter. It's a blink. It's a straight line. Don't worry about it.
Teleport. Yeah, you end up.
Oh, what the hell? That's my bad.
Very good. Here at the Adorial Tower. Just a few hours boat ride across the Lake Vargan to the capital city itself. But as you step out into this courtyard, looking out upon the lake, it is a beautiful sight. You can see the city on the far side of it. It is just this impossibly large impossibly large settlement built into this mountainside that just illuminates the lake, and you can see the reflections of it almost lighting up the water beneath the surface, and you can see the seabed in front of you just purely on account of the beauty of what you see before you. Doran is a multi-tiered city, so the bottom would be kind of like military area and farming areas, residential, all the way to the very top where there's the governing region and where the king dwells. You could see every level really clear, even though you're a couple of miles away. It's a sight to behold. Those of you that have seen the capital before have not seen it from a view like this. But the mages say to Beric that they're in the process of preparing boats, and if you guys would like to rest for the night here, you are welcome to do so. Otherwise, you can pull a late one and probably arrive in the city by 1 or 2 a.m. in the morning.
Do you have a place to store the prisoners?
That can be arranged, yes. We can have that sorted. This sort of older, gnomish gentleman speaking.
Perfect.
But just say nothing, because if I say anything, it's going to look a bit dumb, so I'm just going to keep to myself for the moment.
Perfect.
I would kind of, be leaning towards going in the morning.
Absolutely.
Not a problem. We can have the prisoners restrained for the evening. If you want to ensure their imprisonment, you may take shifts or whatever. We will essentially leave you to your own devices. And he claps his hands twice and begins to cast a spell, and you see this doorway form in the middle of the open. It's only a small cabin for the evening, but if you step inside, you'll find any amenities you might need, and a lockable room with no escape except for the key you will find inside underneath the mat of the front door. And he nods and sort of opens the door for you, and like a gentleman, allows you to enter at your own will. And
Do we have to go in?
Can I do a
You don't have to go
perception
in, no.
check
Can I
on?
choose not to?
Sure.
I would prefer to just
check
stay
for.
out.
Can I do a
That's
perception
advantage.
Yeah, what perception check for what? Sorry.
on what how Beric and Kasana reacted to us choosing to stay the night? Like if there was any telltale signs that they were like thought this was good, thought it was bad.
Make an insight check.
An insight check.
I think we might have lost Helto.
Ooh.
21.
Yeah, he's gone. Be back in
They
minutes,
seem content. They're not objected. They're not of the opinion that it was the necessary decision. They were kind of down for either. And if they thought one was better than the other, they probably would have
overly
spoken up.
happy either.
Yeah.
Like that we played into anyone's hands.
No resentment or anything like that.
Okay.
They also look a little tired, Kasana particularly after using such a high level spell. But you are allowed to enter into your little cabin if you wish, or sleep outside, as it looks like Imitar wishes to do.
I don't just yet. I would like to, if possible, can I just look around the room we teleported into and just see what I can make of like all the stuff that's all on the walls?
Yeah, make an Arcana check.
All right, not a 1 this time. Much better.
16. You get the vibe that the arcane runes and stuff, they're a mixture of sort of locational data to show where this room is, so mages can find it to teleport to, while also some of them acting as wards against maybe some particular dimensions from ending up here.
Kind of like protecting against things that shouldn't be coming to this spot, kind of thing.
Yeah, like so no demon invasion can use this as an entry point into the world, stuff like that.
Like pretty much Sanctum Sanctorum.
Yep.
Sure, yeah.
You're like, I don't know what that is.
It sounds about right.
The Sanctum Sanctorum is Doctor Strange, no?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, a little bit like that. Sure. Yeah, I think
Um,
Celtic has died, by the way. He said his internet is crap in the bed the last day or so, so he'll probably be back shortly.
Yeah, I
if
would just like to, while
Parker got
everyone's
teleported
like
to the
going to
wrong
sleep,
place.
before I like just find like a tree to sit under, or like maybe like next to the walls of the tower, because I have a blanket. I think.
I think we can assume until Heltic comes back that wherever Uthor goes, he's going to be there trying to mitigate
Oh, he got
damage.
teleported to the
Since
wrong
that's what
place.
he's kind of been doing.
He's teleported to a
Probably
different
likely.
town. He's somewhere else.
Yeah,
Teleported fucked up. He's gone.
Time difference sucks, I know.
No, like
He's
he's over in
teleported, like, all the
Braunfield or
way
something
over
right
to the-
now. He's gone.
Yeah. Here he is. He's looking lovely.
the teddy bear's
there
back.
he is. Stunner.
Teddy bear in his place. God damn.
Yeah.
If possible,
hmm
after everybody kind of goes to sleep, I would like to go for a wander.
Can I check to see if I can see him leave? Because I was staying up.
I would try and be
Uh,
stealthy. So
Stealth check, and what's your passive perception, Inventar?
Me passive perception. Which one's that again?
it's
Should be over
in
on the left-hand side
senses.
somewhere. Senses.
11.
11, cool.
And what is the what?
He got
Perception.
a 12 on the
12.
stealth.
I haven't done anything yet.
No, it's your passive because you're not actively looking for someone stealthing. You're
Oh,
just
okay.
generally relaxed, keeping an eye out. It's
Fair enough.
it's Uther taking the action against you, if that makes sense.
Fair
So he does actually manage to sneak by, just about close. But he does.
And
Was our armor like noticeably Tryon region specific, or just kind of?
The stuff you guys are wearing doesn't have the crest of like the general soldiers of Doran House. It's the same one of the humanoid with wings in the crown rather than the dragon in the crown. So it's
So
more
it's
particular to the Baron.
Good. Yeah. Okay.
I would like to go and see where the underground is. See where the late night party is and find just something that just doesn't look right, but you know what I mean? Like,
Make an investigation check.
yeah. I'm not
Can
good
I
at
have a
this.
recap of the last
Oh,
like 2 minutes?
Jesus.
DC it.
Most of us are asleep.
Shenanigans, basically.
We're
People
just
going
chatting
to
shit,
sleep,
basically.
Uther's sneaking out, and the runes that were seen, the arcane runes in the teleportation room, were protective nature.
In nature, yeah.
Yeah.
It's chilling. I'm chilling.
7. It is, for lack of a better word, a work night in Morindow and Doran in particular. There is not much happening in terms of after hours activities. There is what looks to be on the ground floor of the tower itself, a sort of a grand hall where there's a few individuals having a few drinks, maybe working on some kind of shift work, or just generally just going for a drink.
Okay. Okay. There's no livestock here.
No, this is purely just the tower, a few hours away from the city.
In city, yeah. No, I'll just kind of wander. If I find someone on their own, I might try and spook them. But apart from that, just kind of lurking around, seeing what I can break without breaking too much.
Sure.
Right now.
The scale of this
nice way to put
tower
it.
is crazy. It is like the medieval equivalent of a skyscraper in the middle of nowhere. It's so tall, easily a few 100 feet. But yeah, the night comes to you all, and for those of you that are immediately sleeping, you may mark down a long rest, and I believe we can jump to a quick break.
Sure. Anyone against?
Nope.
No.
No.
Cool.
Perfect. Have a little bit of an early break, and we'll be back just after it.
That means there's combat. Ah!
And we are
Welcome back.
Oh, you're
Oh.
going for it this time.
Oh,
I rolled the dice, didn't I? I'm the one
You
that has to
did.
fuck everything up.
I
rolled the
think.
dice.
Did we just lose Heltic right as we went live?
I
It's
think
fine.
so.
I told you already, he got stuck in the teleporter. He's in a different land.
Yeah, of course.
Grand.
He's playing a
All
different
right.
campaign right now.
So, leading up to the break, you guys did some little bits around the castle. A little bit of thieving, some sticky finger action. And met your doppelgangers. Well, doppelgangers, a term used very loosely. These people that vaguely resemble you and are imposters. And teleported with the help of the mage Kasana to the Idoriel Tower, the sort of center hub of magic in Doran, where all the would-be trainee mages go to learn where various arcane studies are undertaken, all in this this ginormous tower that is separated from the Doran government. It's kind of its own entity, but it is a force to be reckoned with, and all kind of teleportation in the capital region kind of goes through here. It's really the only not public teleportation circle, but I guess known about one as a not only public, but it's kind of the only one. So wait, what? What were you doing?
Doing nothing. Nah. Keep going. Keep your
Uh,
word.
He was doing the ruler
he's-
thing, but he was going over and back across the lake.
TOS, TOS, TOS.
It's a peak on a mountain. Has two
Oh, it
lakes
is,
below
you're
it.
right. So, you guys bed down in your little magically summoned cabin that one of
Or
the
side of
guards
the road.
brought to you. Yeah, just outside the tower, side of the road. And the next morning comes around as you find yourselves rested. Another colder day, but it is a new day nonetheless. It is now the 14th of Melting Morn, I believe, almost halfway through the month. As yeah, the day is yours. A boat is being prepared to take you across the lake in the early hours, whenever you guys are pretty much up and breakfast and ready to go, to take you in towards the capital, where you should arrive in by early afternoon.
I would like to
Yep.
do training again. Try and
By all
crack
means.
down and learn about these chains that I'm trying to use like whips.
Make an athletics check.
Come on, big money. Oh my god, please.
I think you have rolled 15 4 times for that now.
Oh, it's just
Um,
not good.
Yeah, no
You
more
have a
progress is
plus
made.
7 as well, like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no,
What is going on there, like? I think
Can
you're rolling
I,
the wrong dice. You're rolling
in
defense
the
or something.
tower, am I allowed to walk in and check for things quickly? Or
you can. You will guess that you would probably be restricted in where you can go, but
Yeah.
a lot of the ground floor and maybe the first couple of levels are mostly unrestricted access.
is there
But
any
what,
kind of library?
There's a public use library, and there
Can
are
I make-
several private libraries.
Can I know I'm not going to be able to get into the private ones, but can I make an investigation check into the public ones, see if there's anything interesting?
Yeah, go on. Roll me an investigation check first of all. 18. Okay.
Yes.
Roll me a D3.
D3.
A D3.
Do I have a D3?
Oh, it might not be. You probably have to do slash or 1D3. Slash or space 1D3.
Or the bottom left-hand corner on your
This?
D&D.
Yep, there you go.
There you go. Beautiful. So that was a 2. Okay, you find yourself in a library that largely focuses on geography and history, stuff like that. But roll me another D3. No, sorry, D6. A book that stands out to you is a sort of a study that it seems to be a handwritten book. Someone here in the tower probably did it. It's called the Winds of Frostwall. And a brief little description of what you glean from the pages is that well, let me change the map and show you. This age, yes. This will
my
take a second.
map's a bit fuzzy.
Yeah, it'll take a sec to load. Does for me as well. Oh wow, it's loaded on the stream before it's properly loaded for me. Love that.
You're also lagging.
There we go.
You also sound like a robot.
Yeah,
like
that would be the image loading. Please. Okay, we're good.
Why is Evan working off
Down.
a fucking dial-up internet in the 90s?
I am. not
it's
exactly,
really
but not
sad.
far from
Like
it.
it's like that. Do you ever see Simpsons episode where he tries to get the porn, and it goes frame by frame from the top down, and it gets stuck, and he breaks the computer?
No.
If you've never
shit,
seen that
that's
episode,
unreal.
oh, it's such a banger episode.
It's a little
Damn
bit
you,
more
dial-up internet.
crossed off. So
Huh?
what was the name of this book again?
So you're in Doran right now. You're in the capital here. The book was called The Winds of Frostwall, which is way south of Doran. Pretty much the very south of the continent you were on. The region past a mountainous area. It's basically a icy desert. It is devoid of vegetation, but it's focusing particularly on the winds because the winds, for some reason, are of interest there. They have on them some sort of a static property, and during storms, the winds themselves can visibly breathe sort of bolts of lightning moving perpendicularly to the ground as opposed to vertically from the sky. And it's very, very treacherous, and this brave mage thought it would be worthy of doing a study in.
Cool. My little
Perpendicular
investigations
lightning.
into public libraries.
Little
Definitely gonna try and
random
steal
nugget of
that.
information.
Can
You're
I
gonna try
try
to steal it?
Yes.
You absolutely can. Yeah. Are you gonna steal anything else?
Well, I don't know if there's anything else in here of interest. Can I try and look for something else, or
Yeah, go on, roll another d6. You've got a bit of time
another
before
D6? Yeah, I'm
most
kind
ready.
of I'm trying to drag this out so that we can slash 1d6 5.
5. Oh, interesting. This takes you to a fiction section of the library, where you come across a book, not one you're familiar with, but one that probably other people are quite familiar with, or at least your characters would be, called Aristocross. That's how I said it. Aristocross 4, The Hero's Honor. It's called. Aristocross is kind of like a folk hero, almost like your Braveheart or something in Morindow. A real like manly man's man, loved by humanoids with more traditional values. This particular one is based on an adventure that this Aristocross took in the Empire of Pavandro, where he was welcomed as a guest and quickly betrayed and became an unwilling outlaw. And it's a whole epic event of his story in Pavandro. Whether it was real or not, it's up to. It's widely debated.
So, is there any way if I can tell if that's true?
You
No.
can make a history check maybe to think of what you've heard about it.
Fair enough. This is not
The
gonna go
the
well.
claims are it was multiple hundreds of years ago.
Yeah, I'm probably getting
8.
nothing from that.
Yeah, it's to the best of your knowledge.
It could be
Uh,
true. It could not be. Kind of thing.
Yeah, folk hero tales like this. If it was true, maybe it's been greatly exaggerated.
All right.
If
I'm
it
gonna try and
wasn't
steal
true,
both of them.
you got it. Pocketed and Gonzo.
I didn't even have to roll for it. Nice.
Yeah, no, yeah. I probably should have made you roll, but I said it. It's too late anyway.
I was
So-
just doing that so that everyone could get back in time.
Brilliant.
My habit
You-
of stealing books.
So let me just put the 2 books. So Winds of Frostwall and
Winds of
Aristocracy.
Frostwall. Oh, okay, that's what you said. I
Uh,
thought you
sorry,
said Softwall.
Oh, I know Frostwall. And we're on the right map. Cool. Okay, so
I've just put them in my notes to say which books I have.
very fair. So your morning continues on, and eventually a messenger, one of the what looks to be a trainee mage, they wear this similar robe that Valwada was given, but a simpler appearance to it. It's like a more of an orangey brown color, whereas the one you were given was maybe more of a darker blue. And you can see generally it's the younger people around here that wear the orangey brown ones, signifying probably a newer thing. But like a novice mage comes up to you and tells you that your boat is ready to leave whenever you guys are.
Ready. Before I get on, can I make sure that I'm still hidden as a human? Just
You are indeed still
Oh.
hidden.
How early in the morning is it?
It is probably about 8:30.
too early.
8:30, 9. Pretty early.
So when we arrive with like a group of 6 prisoners, it'll be pretty big news. Lots of people.
Yeah, people will be will be looking
and about.
for sure.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, ain't no funny business gonna happen. It's estimated if you'd leave right now, you'd get there. Let me do quick counting. Your Durial there, 7 leagues. About 3 hours from now, so just before noon is when you would arrive.
Sweet. Let's go.
The height of traffic.
The height of traffic,
You
indeed.
know when I'm happy about the time, it's a good time. Maximum people viewing
Well,
us
things are about
arrive
to go
with the
very wrong.
prisoners.
So a couple of the mages in the tower also do accompany. They just make use of the transport to the city for the day. But for the large, for the most part, it is quite a large boat. It is maybe one of the bigger ones that you could probably see on this lake. This lake is largely just used for fishing. It's not a great access route to get anywhere. You can follow it downstream to head towards open sea, either or towards Finsul either. It's an alternative path past the mountains. It's not very well traveled, and those that would travel would use smaller boats. The one you're on right now is probably the biggest one on the water, and it makes excellent time as it travels across. And right about noon, you pull into the sort of modest harbor that the city has to offer. You can see it is bustling with activity. And actually, let me drop us over to the city. Now, this is quite a simplified version of it. The actual city itself holds easily over 1 million people, 1 million residents. But yeah, the river flows down like a waterfall through the center of it. Different tiers for different functions. The ground tier being a heavily fortified military base, basically. But the city itself, regardless of the nefarious intentions of the politicians inside, supposedly, it is undeniably a beautiful structure.
Gotta love the nice little creepy looking shack in the top left.
Oh yeah. So as you pull in, there is a company of guards waiting as you approach. At the head of which you see this individual from quite far away as you're pulling in. He stands out in a crowd a lot. He is easily 8 feet, maybe 2.5 meters tall, but appears to be humanoid. Really, really odd. Like there has to be some kind of giant's blood or weird elvish blood in him for him to look like this. But his features are very, very human-like. He's got kind of like a twisted, almost like a ridiculously twisted mustache. It looks kind of stupid.
Kinda like
Very.
Yeah, I was waiting for it. Sitting here.
I wasn't gonna go there, but
Mustache. Yeah, no bother.
His
powder
age
anymore.
hard to determine, but you guess at least middle-aged. He's got some mature features on his face. He's covered in multiple rings, various pins and necklaces, and just jewelry on his armor, which does look like it has seen battle. It is scratched and dented in places, but
So
it
what you're
does look
saying
to be rich
is-
regardless.
So what you're saying is he looks like that.
Yeah, with armor, pretty much. Not a million miles off. Yeah.
There's an angry
yeah, that's
octopus on
pretty
fucking
much
stream right now.
Ian
Love
wishes
that.
his mustache could look that good.
Did he not just describe Braum like?
Pretty much.
with
I put
clothes on.
Armstrong into the chat. I put Armstrong from Full Metal Alchemist into the chat.
So this individual, you can see poking out from underneath the armor. Very, very rich looking clothes. Something that if you didn't know his reputation to be that of a soldier or of a general, if it is, you would guess he's probably some kind of a merchant nobleman or even an actor with how ridiculous he looks. But as you approach, Berich says to you all that's General Bertol. He's the one who signed your arrest warrants. Now he hasn't seen you personally, but maybe keep your distance from him, and in the event that you think you might be recognized by him, try and change the subject or try to alert me somehow, and I'll do my best. And also try not to piss him off. As far as he's concerned, you are Tryon soldiers, born and trained there, never set foot inside the capital region except during your training in Pavilion briefly. Then
Say nothing,
when
do nothing, kind of thing.
pretty much, yeah. When we get there, I'll do some of the talking, but one of you needs to be the one to tell General Berthold that the prisoners turned themselves in and are asking for a public trial. Do you think you can handle that?
Not me.
Of course. That sounds rather enjoyable, actually.
I
Okay.
don't know if I'd trust you to do that.
Well, come with me.
You can both do it if it's.
I feel like if
that
we
much
send
of a
both of
concern.
them, it's going to turn into an argument and it's not going to end well. I feel like we should just send someone else.
No, we worked well together the last time we were diplomatic. As long as he doesn't try to
Ah,
eat
fair.
someone, we're okay.
No eat.
I'll do my best.
Usually the people that disagree the most can usually come to an agreement easier.
Very valid. Well, the boat approaches the dock. Some dock workers grab ropes and tie it down and anchor it, and you are
Seamen.
led ashore. Some seamen, yes, exactly. The mages
I'm proud, man.
pass on through the seamen, going elsewhere,
They're along very well, aren't they?
while the rest of you sort of chill where the seamen lead you. Excuse me. The
To the
general
egg, boys,
and
to the
the
egg.
soldiers with him.
Sorry.
Die.
I didn't want to say anything.
I'm surprised you didn't get that when I said they're getting along very well, aren't they? After you said semen like 4 times.
The general, General Bertol and the guards, that they sort of form a ring as you approach, not letting you pass on the dock. And Bertol kind of steps forward, towering over even Utherlock, as tall as he is. Greetings. My name is General Bertol. It seems to me that you are the guards and, well, Ranger Barrack that were in the right place at the right time to procure our escaped prisoners. Well, and he kind of gives the prisoners like a once-over. They don't look like much. Surprised they gave such a hard fight. And he looks at you guys, the guards. So few guards for some prisoners that did some serious damage. Are you capable of watching these individuals yourself?
Oh, well, if there's more guards available, I'd gladly take more guards to help us.
So what you're saying is you're not necessarily
Not
proficient?
capable, but we might be available for other help if something does kick up. It never hurts to have extra people on hand.
This is why it should be written into law that the King's Guard should be the ones to escort prisoners. That way they wouldn't need help. But
Has that worked out so well the last time?
the last
I
time,
speak up.
You're not
Yes,
meant
that's
to be
why
talking.
we had to go round them up for you.
I will not make baseless accusations about what I think happened last time, but
Ah.
we'll move past it. Technically, since these are your prisoners now, you can watch over them tonight and today. They are your responsibility. Beds
Okay.
will be laid out for you, besides the normal guards on duty up at the prison on the second highest tier. I'll do my part and organize this supposed trial for tomorrow morning. Take my personal guarantee that the king will be there, as will any of the general public who wish to attend.
Just so you're aware, they want a public trial for their handing in of an arrest.
That will be taken into consideration. Berich leans forward. I think the Court of Golden Merits should do perfectly. And Bertol nods.
Can I
I'll
roll
take that
history
into
on one?
consideration as well.
Can I roll history on that court in
Yeah, go
particular?
for it. Go for it.
Let's see. I've gotten so lucky with these. I feel like it's going to be a bad idea.
You may as well ride out the look. It's okay. You've spent a fair bit of time around Doran. You've probably heard the stories. It is, or it was, kind of more of a historical court that is now used for big public scale trials. It's not really used on the day-to-day basis. It's basically an arena, but with a court set up at the center rather than like a Colosseum battle area.
So it would be more
used
for
to
a
be a
spectacle
huge...
of power than an actual court system.
Yeah.
It's more them pushing
Yeah,
their power around.
it's emphasis on the public part of a court of public opinion.
Okay.
And generally speaking, if there was a prolific case going on, the king would be in attendance, and there'd be like opening ceremonies and stuff back in its day. But it hasn't been in use regularly for a good few hundred years. It's kind of just been a historical site / for the used for the really, really big cases.
And would
So
I
for
know of a court that would have more public people there?
oh no, for sure this would be the most
This would be the
public
best one. Okay.
If
I
this
want to
was
figure
going
out
to
if
be
they were
used
going to hide
again.
it in like a back alley fucking court, like.
Oh yeah, no. If this was going to be, if there was going to be an actual active case in this court, you can guarantee it would be attended by many.
Cool.
And the fact that it's that Beric has suggested it and the general has reluctantly agreed says to you that he was probably thinking a similar thing anyway. He probably hoped to have it here as well. But for other reasons, seeing as he thinks he has the right guys. But yeah. So anyway, you guys are led through the city by the guards to drop your prisoners off at the prison area, which is up right in the second highest tier. The city is bustling with activity. Traders, merchants, residents, builders. The city is constantly expanding. There are artists and architects constantly cleaning and repainting the great statues of the kings of old, of which there are many more outside of the map. They sort of do like a, what do you call it? I guess like a cascade around the edge of the mountainside. Easily 16, 17 of these massive tall statues. But you are led up to the prison. You are taken inside, and your prisoners are thrown into a sort of like an isolated holding cell away from the rest of the prison. And you guys are given a few rooms to sort of temporarily set down in, lay down your effects, or talk out of earshot of the other guards and other prisoners. To just have some space to prepare for whatever you may need to say. And General Bertol sort of gives you guys a good look nod and ducks underneath the door as his massive form heads out and leaves you to be. Beric turns to you all as he leaves. So, that leaves us with a little bit of time to go over any of the finer details, I suppose. Any questions on how this is going to play out?
I feel like it's all going to fall apart at the last second, if I'm perfectly honest with you.
It is a concern.
At least if we go down, he's here too. So we know we're not fully set up.
Yes, and if the king is here as well with the public audience, I mean, regardless, he has broken the law. Therefore, the law must be upheld.
Well, hasn't
my father is right in
sick of
that.
late though? What if he doesn't choose to show up?
Yeah, the last 25 years or so, he hasn't really made many public appearances at all. It's going to be quite an event for people to see him. For a lot of people, it could even be their first time seeing him, especially a lot of the youth.
And do you think he will definitely show up?
General Bertol is an unpleasant individual, but if he is trying to make the king show up, I would say we can be quite confident that the king will show up. He's a man of his word.
Okay.
Did he give his word, though? He said he would take it into consideration.
He did, which, if his guards were to hold him to that, he would have no choice but to do so, else his honor would be questioned as a general. So I would be quite confident that he will do his utmost to make sure the king is there. Also, if it is to be in the Court of Golden Merits, it would be very unusual for the king not to be there.
Okay.
Or at least if this does go tits up, then everyone will at least see what he's done. Whether or not it works,
Precisely.
it'll still get people talking.
Your mission will still be accomplished.
Right.
So, well, I will leave you for the day. I will, I guess, reconnect with you this evening, just if anything comes up in the interim, as we, I guess, make some final preparations for the trial tomorrow. But for now, I bid you adieu. He gives like a salute and leaves the room. So you guys basically have, you can free roam around the place, explore the city, you can buy supplies,
Library.
trade, whatever you might like to do. Library, sure, steal books. Entirely up to you guys. But I will say it would probably be quite suspicious if you didn't at least leave one or two people guarding the prisoners or some while people are doing things. So if
Damn it.
everyone has something they want to do, maybe take it in turns, etc.
Yeah. As soon as he leaves earshot, I just speak up. He massively misunderstands my mission. My mission is to get out of here alive. I do not care who winds up on this truck.
Based.
And with that, I just kind of, before any discussion can be had, just wander off to look around to kind of discover the city and discover ways to not die should I have to peg it and hide or try escape at any point.
You'll be the first person sliced in half by me. Don't worry about it. I'll take first watch. Someone wants
Sure
to
thing.
join me.
I'm gonna sneak away and try and find the nearest library.
I expected nothing less.
Make an investigation check.
Damn it!
Oh, him. Grand.
Alright.
To sneak away.
Yeah.
40. You roll for +0. You've been rolling damn good at these.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't take you too long to find a library. You're on the second tier of the city. This is like the second highest tier.
Is that,
So there are.
Is that like this bit here, like this one?
It's this one up here. You've been led all the way through. I should
Oh,
probably
shit.
mention there are several staircases that lead from one tier to the next.
But
Right
this
now,
one
this is the prison over here,
Oh, okay. This one.
and this
there.
one is the governing district. This here is the Court of Golden Merits, the
Wait.
central building.
I was zoomed too far in.
Oh, let me ping it. This one here, at the very top.
Ah. Cool. Thank you. I was
And you
zoomed
guys
right
are
into where
here.
we were. Yeah.
Fair. So, a library is easily found somewhere in this block of buildings here. There's not actually, wherever you see single buildings, you can assume there's probably tens and tens and tens. So 6 there, there's probably easily 60. You find a library there, no problem. It looks to be quite a large one as well, almost as big as the basic one at the Adorial Tower, which makes you wonder what kind of stuff the Adorial Tower had further up in it. But I guess feel free to
Mission came first
roll.
in that situation.
Hmm?
Mission came first in that situation to not look conspicuous, as
Oh,
I'm probably
yes.
looking the exact same now. That's fine.
All
So,
good.
what does this library hold?
What does this library hold? Make me a wait. Let me. Roll me a d6. I have way too many books prepared in my world.
I'm gonna get them all. 5.
Oh, interesting. It's another fictional piece, a short novel that tells the story of a group of individuals during an apocalypse that happened during known as the Calamity, basically an apocalypse level event that happened some closer to 4,000 years ago, where this campaign is based. A group known as the Order that went about setting peace to the world, and it's sort of like similar to the previous story. If they were real, it definitely blurs the details of their actions and maybe glorifies some, over exaggerates others, and stuff like that. But it's an interesting little read.
Fair enough. What's it called again? So I can add it to my list.
It is called The Trials of the Order.
I'm gonna write it down because I've definitely read it, even if I don't get to steal it yet.
Very fair.
Is there anything else of interest? Is there actually anything I look specific? Kind of look for specifically like anything demonic or anything referencing like the king and like his potential like. I know you said that he has that blood. The specific thing that makes them live longer. Is there anything to do with that or?
Ooh,
obviously
okay.
demons?
Make me another investigation check.
This is when this goes tits up when I do something important. Yep.
You find a book that is basically a ledger of the birth records of all the royal family, but it
That's
is
so handy.
so confusing. The Kingdom of Doran is one of the oldest in the world. These are thousands of years of generations. It is not like a linear list. Different parts of the family are built upon in the middle of the book. There'd be 20 pages of gaps left space for that part of the family, and another part you don't find any reference to specifically Fala or his daughters or his parents or his brother. Nothing like that, but you're pretty confident it should be in this book.
I'll keep. Can I keep the book?
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
even if it is like hard to read, it may still hold some kind of use.
Yeah, you might find something in it at a later date.
Is
Sure.
that just? I'll just call it Lineage of Kings or something.
Yeah, sounds good. Make I guess a sleight of hand check if you're trying to steal it, or you could attempt to buy the book.
Fuck that.
Fair
I'm
enough.
gonna attempt to. Here we go. Try to steal them all. There we go.
No problem at all to you. Those books fell into your pockets, and you and the guards and anybody else present wasn't even aware it happened.
They don't know those books exist either.
Precisely.
What Lineage of Kings?
At this stage,
Um,
you don't even realize you're stealing stuff. You're just so good at it that you don't even realize they're in your pockets. You just
Well,
walk in and it's like,
no
oh,
one
it's
explains to
at this
him
point,
how
I'm
libraries
so
work.
used to stealing it. I'm gonna go with the idea that I'm so used to stealing it. I just think that's how it works.
Yeah, no one's ever explained to Imitar how libraries work. Should you just go in
Every
and
time
take
I've
the
walked
book you
into
want?
one, I've found books, I've taken books, I've left. No one stopped me. At this
Wait,
point, I'm
that's
just
very
like, oh,
true.
cool, books.
How much extra weight in books are you carrying now?
Not important. I have about 6 books in my pocket.
Why are we hanging out with Hermione Granger?
I'm gonna find a book, and I'm just gonna like get my own dimension of just a
You better
library.
get ogred in a bathroom, I swear to God. Like,
All right. Now that all that's done, I'm gonna wander back to the prison to come and at
Just
least be
wait
somewhat
until
useful.
our fort campaign when you start to get the hots for Amin.
I'm alright, thanks. If I said trying to put my dick in a crow, I'm leaving.
All I'm saying is Imitar has a mask of many faces. He's sure to have one that you're interested in.
Oh,
Can I go back to
no.
trying to fuck the dragons?
I could be a dragon.
I really don't want you to be a dragon.
All right. So you find your way back to the party, as they are still keeping watch of the prisoners. Anybody else trying to do any little bits?
So
I
guess
just want to. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. You go first.
I said, I guess I was out wandering around looking
Mhm.
for like any like sneaky ways out or looking for hidden places in like the most densely populated parts of the city. Is that this third middle tier here?
Yeah, the middle tier is a hugely residential area, and where a lot of like the kind of more mobile businesses would be. So like markets or pop-up shops, caravans, stuff like that. They'd all be based there. Probably
guess-
the busiest part with people coming and going for sure.
Yes, I guess I wander there and take a look for some like decent hiding places, like places where roofs meet and you can hide from guards, and kind of where the caravans are that you could maybe like stow away or
Yeah,
get yourself hired as a hand if you were sneaky enough.
definitely possible. The tier below that as well seems to be a slightly lower class of living. The buildings are a little bit more run down. But a huge part there is there are two separate mine entrances. Excuse me, that are also a possible hiding spot that you spot in your adventures. From what you've make an investigation check real quick.
Oh no.
5. Yeah, I mean, if you were trying to leave the city in a hurry, there is a river that flows down through the middle of it. That could be an effective escape route. Depending on what layer you were on, you could have up to 4 waterfalls to fall down before you made it to the actual river itself. But hey,
So
it's
I
an
didn't
whitewater
look.
rafting. Whitewater rafting.
whitewater rafting and whitewater wind sailing as you were falling to.
True. Be great crack.
Yeah, so I don't really find much in the way of hiding places. Do I find the markets and that?
Oh yeah, definitely the markets. Yeah, they're in full effect at the moment, in midday, early afternoon for sure.
Sweet. I guess then I
Um,
kind of just wander back, content that I didn't find a whole lot, and I'm like, fuck.
I should say, for context on the scale of these, to walk from like one side of a tier to the other, depending on the tier, could be from maybe 1 hour to 2 hours, maybe for the bottom one. So it's like the space is big.
Yeah, I guess I kind of maybe went to like here at best.
Yeah, so I mean that's like it's like an hour round trip plus
Yeah.
a little bit maybe more. Yeah.
Maybe kind of half just went down the stairs, but was like, "That's a long way to go. If the shit hits the fan, I'll probably be just hiding here."
Gotcha. Having a peek.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So you wander back with this information in mind and a very very emergency escape route in mind too. Anyone else?
I'm just guarding
with-
prisoners like I'm chilling.
Yes, sir.
They once them two have returned back, I say that I'm going to go for a walk. I take a brief stroll like around the building and just like having a look around, just surveying the area. I do want to while I'm near the building, I do want to talk to. Is there anyone that isn't necessarily like a guard, like some sort of like assistant or someone that isn't necessarily tied to the like king super?
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause
you-
I want to ask some questions about things.
Yeah, you walk maybe 10 minutes to this kind of area here. It's like a small, it's almost like a village within the city, is probably the best way of thinking about it. It's similar. It's actually where Imitar found the library. That kind of first area. There's civilians around there, and just general business workers, merchants, stuff like that. Any particular business that you might find more trustworthy for your goals than the rest?
I guess I'll head to like I don't know whether the library would be a good start. Maybe. I guess yeah. I'll head to the library and I just want to just to speak. I don't want to actually look for any books or anything. I want to speak to the head librarian or whatever the librarian is on hand. So I walk in and
Yeah.
I walk up to the desk and I kind of lean over the desk. I'm still wearing my my blue cloak with the I have my hood. I like lean on the desk and I take my hood down, and I'm just like leaning and waiting for someone to come speak with me.
Yeah, this old halfling woman sort of hobbles out and sits on a stool. Well, it looks like she's sitting at first from how low down she is, but it actually appears that she's standing on it as you take in the details. As she kind of looks up to you, takes these sort of long pointed glasses off her eyes. What can I do for you, sir?
Hello there. I'm looking for some information. I'm in a bit of a hurry. I'm actually on duty right now. I just needed some quick answers if you would have them for me.
Certainly. What can I be of service for?
Well, first of all, tomorrow I have to. I'm not from around here. I'm actually from the Tryon region, and I'm here for a trial that's going to be taking place tomorrow. And I was just wondering if you have any more information on the Court of Golden Merits, as it's not anything that we would traditionally see home.
Oh, very good. Yes. Certainly. I could refer you to where would it be? You see her reach one hand out and sort of do like an arcane tracing of a symbol in the air and reach her hand into it and withdraw her hand, and you hear like the sound of a book being put down somewhere else in the library as something just pops into her hand as she takes her hand back, and there's a book in her hands and she kind of flicks through it. Yes, here. This chapter should tell you quite a little bit about what you're looking for. It's about how the court was previously used and how why it sort of fell out of fashion to be used in such a manner. And well, if you've any questions, do be afraid to ask. I was here when it was last used.
Oh, really? And what was its last what was the last case that was tried in the court?
I believe it was legitimizing whether or not the king's older brother, the bastard, was a worthy heir or not. And it was decreed that he was not, and King Fallow was crowned in his place.
Wow. Okay. Very serious then.
Yes.
And so were you in attendance at the last court meeting?
I was, yes. I was actually keeping the books. I was
very nice, very nice.
ensuring the record.
Would you have a copy of those records?
Certainly, yes. Publicly available. And she gives you vague directions to the section of the library where you might find something like that.
All right, perfect. I was like, okay, thank you very much. You've been very helpful. And I walk and I go looking for those notes, just because I want to have some preconception of what the court date tomorrow is going to be like, how it's structured, and how everyone should act, so I can go back to the group and be like, this is how everything is going to work.
Yeah, okay. You find her directions were very effective for what looks like a chaotic library, but you do find you find them the records pretty straightforward. I haven't flicked through it now, or holding on to it for later.
I take the records and I ask her, and I come back up to the desk and I was like, is there any way for me to get a copy of these records?
Yes, certainly. Bear with me a moment. And she takes it from your hand and takes out this these two boxes, opens up one of them and puts it in, closes the box, casts a spell, opens the other box, and passes you the same book.
Okay.
I will need that back at some stage, but I know I'm judging from your robes that you work with the tower, so I know you have a very good track record of returning my belongings to me.
Yes, that's no issue at all. I will have it back before the court date tomorrow. I just want to I'm just trying to show my fellow soldiers from the Tryon region the proper court etiquette for tomorrow, because I don't want anyone speaking out of turn.
Oh, excellent. Very glad to hear that the traditional etiquette will not be forsaken.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
A pleasure.
Now I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna just have a quick survey of the of what other kind of facilities are in that little village.
Yeah, there's a pretty basic looking blacksmith. Primarily seems to be working on horse shoes and stuff like that, but there's some elements of weaponry in there as well. There is an apothecary, there's like a general goods store, and a small market as well of people selling like clothes and different fashion devices, and stuff like that.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I'm just I'm gonna go to the no, actually, I'm gonna start heading back towards the castle, or towards the prison.
Yeah.
And with whoever is remaining in the prison, I'm going to lay out the notes and be like, so here's the lowdown for tomorrow's court date. So I'm just reading off paper now, so I don't have to do a roll or anything, do I?
Yeah, no, you're good.
Okay, perfect.
Something
So-
that strikes you all immediately as you get into like the very first paragraph of it. The title of the case was Prince Fala versus Baron Salvador.
Interesting.
Right. So this is something that is long and old.
Potentially.
I mean, this dispute is
Mhm.
something that is long and old, which is very interesting. Because that's who we are working for now, is Prince Salvador. So he believes. So we have actually no idea that whether or not. Okay.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I run through some more paragraphs, explain how the structure of the day of the court is going to be, and when the prisoners will be brought out, and what they will be have to say and everything. And we're having this conversation in the outside of the cage of our doppelgangers, so that they can also know what's going on.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So we just spend like an hour going through all of it.
Yeah, the basic rundown of the format is the crowds gather for a few hours beforehand. They even flood around the sort of center area. But as soon as the trumpets sound to mark the arrival of the king and his consort, the crowds flood into the seating areas. The king takes his formal seat towards the like not the center, but like a front view of the center. And then once he takes his seat, trumpets will sound again, and the prisoners, the various judges, and I guess the fantasy equivalent of prosecutors and defendants also come in at that time, and it begins whenever everyone's ready to go.
Well, I'm good to go. I haven't left the fucking prisoners once, so.
Yeah, you're keeping your eye on them. There's nothing
Yeah.
you'd like to do in the city, Kagra?
No, I prayed before I left.
Very fair.
I'm a simple man.
All right. A man of simple needs, indeed. At this stage, it's
guess-
getting to early evening as you're kind of taking this rotation shift with each other.
I guess I probably take the opportunity to check are like the guards when we reveal ourselves. Are we gonna have the guards that are like our decoys? Are they gonna be in our possession, or are they gonna be like locked up in like where do we see in Valwara's book where they are held and where we would be left standing? Is it like a general court, like we would be where the defendant and his counsel would be?
Yeah,
Or are they like
because of the specific nature of it, where these are prisoners of a different region of Doran, they would be under your supervision while in the court. So you guys will be in that center area, minding them as they are either sitting on a stand, sitting on chairs, standing on a stand, or potentially even in a cage if they're extremely deadly. The exact means of how they will be restrained is not yet clear to you. It could even be up to you. So maybe you want to cover that base beforehand.
yeah, and do we have any like when we're like we are the ones who are arrested to have them like not really be that restrained and be like, yep, I'm not even an elf.
At a moment's notice, just keep swords within reach of them that they can grab if
Yeah,
things
like
go
are
pear-shaped.
we kind of hiding the keys to their shackles on their body? Do we think they'll be certain? I guess we should like discuss our reveal.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm with you on discussing the reveal. I have no idea. To be perfectly honest, it's kind of like one of those things that is up in the air. It depends. Like I feel personally like a moment will show up and it'll be like, ah, yes, this is when we have to do this. It'll kind of just be like, we'll figure it out because it's almost forced down our throat. You know what I mean? There'll come a time where it'll just kind of be like, yes, this is a good idea, and off we go, and it just kind of works. Kind of, you figure it out. You know what I mean?
Do we give them the keys so they can unshackle themselves and reveal themselves? I mean, they are soldiers. If it goes tits up, probably wouldn't hurt to have 6 more swords on our side, providing they don't betray us.
Are they in full cuffs?
In their cells, no, just basic restraints on their hands, but they're able to walk around. But when they're in the court, if it's up to you guys can make that choice. If it's up to the court protocol, it's not covered in that book, but it's not impossible. They could also be very, very restrained or very loose. Just it's an unknown.
I mean, I suppose we personally would have them very loose because we'd be in front of the whole court. We'd want to make in my opinion, we'd want to make the view that they are free to do as they wish because we believe they are fully innocent.
Mm.
Because they brought themselves in.
Mm-hmm. Why would they bring themselves in if they aren't innocent? You know,
Yeah,
shit like that.
true.
Sounds like an idea to me.
Cool. So we're all happy to leave them free. Hope they don't, betray us.
I don't think they will betray us.
Yeah, I don't trust
we haven't
anyone.
treated them badly. We haven't treated them the best, but we haven't treated them badly.
I've been sitting here chilling with them. It's all good.
He knows their mother's names. If things go sideways, he knows where their wills are.
I was playing dice, you know what I mean?
Do you want to gamble with them?
On the
I don't have a lot of money to gamble.
on the question of trust, do I know it was Valwara that cast the projection last night after Imitar told me it was fake when I was drunk? Or the night 2 nights ago. Do I know who cast it, or am I just like someone cast
you
that
rolled like a 2 or
thing
something, wasn't it?
Yeah. But you told me it was fake after I was swatting at it, and that was when I was like, "Fuck's sake," and left the room to go get teleported. So I'm wondering. I don't think I know it was Valwara, do I? So I probably think it was Imitar who did that. So I've seen him cast.
I did
because I've seen him cast those types of things at the owl bear.
Especially you've seen Imitar change his appearance all the time as well, which you would know is the same school of magic. It's all illusion related. So I guess you can make from that what you will.
No, cool. It just occurred to me I would be a little not majorly
Skeptical,
grudge
perhaps.
holding. It was just a prank, but like, you fucking ass, I'm gonna get you back. You're gonna get punched in the face, and I'm just gonna wait until you're like bloodied to come defend you.
So in this moment, can I prank him again? Is he within 10 feet of me?
It could be. It definitely could be.
Can I Brexit people out of this group? Just like,
Can I?
come
Yeah,
on,
this.
fuck.
Can I make a loud noise behind his head?
You can indeed. What is your loud noise?
Is it only on him?
Just a loud, just like
You all
know,
hear
You know that the
Oh,
trumpet just like a.
it. Yeah, you can definitely do that behind his head.
Ah.
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 Oh.
And again, all of a sudden, and after the trumpet sound, again, all I can see is just a couple of butterflies flying around.
Ah.
I'm gonna make everyone hate me.
I'm eating out a fucking octopus teddy right now, like. Ah.
All right. So, are there any last bits anyone would like to do before evening comes?
I'm just
Um,
gonna sit and read through
don't-
my library of
don't.
books.
What book are you reading specifically, out of curiosity?
I'm attempting to decipher whatever the fuck this king's lineage is.
Octopus loves it. So.
Make an investigation check.
Ah.
Yeah, I'm stupid.
Was that a 6? Oh yeah. Yeah. No, you don't glean anything from it.
I'm just puzzled.
All right. So
I'll get there one day.
at what's
What?
probably 8:30, 9 o'clock, Berich comes back to just give it all a once over and make sure everything is ready to go. As he approaches, he steps into the room, closes the door behind him, has a quick peek before he does so, make sure no one's listening. So, just to be clear, we are all understanding of what the plan is tomorrow. If there are any questions, this will be your last time to raise concerns.
This gonna fail.
The plan
Miss
tomorrow is to successfully wait for one of them to identify our fake prisoners as us, and then when they do so, we stand up and go, "Ha ha! Gotcha!" And yeah,
We hit him with a
Precisely.
bazinga and we get canned
Hit
laughing.
him with the Uno reverse, no you.
yes, exactly.
and we somehow wind up not being on trial also.
And dead.
Bingo.
Which
Or dead, yeah.
which part of this trial you have not been very clear, but you seem confident.
Yes, trust me, the confidence is comes with experience in trials. Now, to be fair, this is my first one in the Court of Golden Merits, but I have done this kind of thing before.
Is there anything in particular about the Court of Golden Merits that we need to know?
King.
Are we going to be placed under trust spells as soon as we walk in? Magical effects that are maybe presented around us, are they going to be available to us? Is there going to be wards? Are like, like, am I going to
there
be able
won't
to walk
be-
in with my weaponry?
You will be able to walk in with your weaponry as guards, yes. However, once you declare yourselves as the suspects, there is a chance there may be a somewhat violent reaction from some of the King's Guards. If that is the case, you merely need to de-escalate the situation. I pray do not escalate it. You're going to be standing in the middle of a heavily guarded arena with an army at a moment's notice. Your goal is
but it sounds so
de-escalation.
fun.
If the king is not being truthful, is it treasonous to cast Zone of Truth on the king?
Ooh.
It probably would be. I would advise not casting spells at the king. Just in the event that a guard might not understand what you're trying to do, or maybe mistrustful of what you're trying to do, and interpret it as a harmful action. Or the king himself interprets it as such, because it's not impossible that the king is still a capable individual. It's just merely an assumption that he is grown old and senile in his unfit state.
I suppose we could try pull the rug over his ahead and ask him what our names are, and then kind of try and see if he has some sort of memory loss. Constantly going back and forth. So this is Uthalok, but you said that guy was Uthalok the last time, and kind of jumping back and forth.
I wish I was Imitar right now. I'd be asking, where would we get a rogue?
What's a rogue? Well, I suppose I don't know. He's just said rogue, so I can say that. Yeah.
Yeah, I assume you don't get like idioms.
No.
Turns of phrase.
I'm in the equivalent of Drax. I would catch it. Except he wouldn't, because he's actually surprisingly dextile, so he might.
Right.
Okay, so Berich kind of nods, reassured that you guys know you're part of the plan, and says, "Well, tomorrow, my friends, rebellion is what we will go to sleep knowing we instilled, and the good kind, the kind where we know we're in the right. So, with that, I wish you good luck, and if I don't see you before the trial, or I don't have a chance to stand beside you tomorrow, again, good luck, and remember, de-escalation if things go sour. We don't
re-escalation if
riot.
things go sour. Got it.
He just gives you a look and
I
turns
smile.
and walks out.
I mean, if all else fails, I can try and use more.
What does we're in the room? I assume this is the room we're sleeping in tonight.
Yeah.
What is is there multiple entrances, exits?
There are two.
Down the hallway?
So the room you're in right now is the one with the prisoners in it. Well, they're in a cell, and you guys have an open area to yourselves with chairs, tables, couches, and the couches can be pulled out into beds with sleeping bits also given into the room. There is a main door to the room which leads into the rest of the prison, and there's a back door which leads outside.
Directly outside.
Yep.
Okay. And outside, there's I assume more guards down the.
Oh yeah, there's not a grand castle wall or anything like that, but there is a defensive fence-esque wall around the place that is patrolled by a team of guards at all times.
Oh no, inside. I mean,
down inside.
The hall.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Outside the door inside the building, to the rest of the prison, there's guards patrolling around, but your own personal exit is not guarded. It's up to you guys to guard that.
So I'm just kind of wondering, casting alarm in the hall would probably go off several times during the night as guards walk into it.
Yeah, if you would have casted it maybe at your door or at both doors, that would probably be more effective, because then it would be specifically when someone comes into the room.
Yeah, a bit late at that stage.
True, true, I suppose.
Yeah, no, cool.
The hell with it.
All right, brilliant. So with that, you may all bed down for the night, mark down a long rest.
No, I haven't done anything.
Yeah, it was a bit of travel for the day as well. So 12, 13. It is the 14th of the month now, the 14th of Melting Morn. As you awake on the morning of the trial, there is a very loud voice that wakes you early in the morning of a town crier shouting in the village that echoes out into the through the open courtyard to the prison area. Hear ye, hear ye! 'Tis the day of the Court of Colden Appeals. All are welcome to attend, all that fit, that is, and the king himself will be making an appearance and a judgment, and rumour would have it, a witness testament too. And he goes on to give some brief times, generally aiming to start at about 10 a.m., but that is subject to how fast people are to take their seats. So could be a tad after. But yeah, it is the morning of the big occasion. You all content to just get into it, or is there anything anyone would like to do beforehand? Any last bits of preparation?
I don't feel like we get a chance to do anything, really.
Not too much. You've got maybe.
Considering we're the ones that are meant
hours.
to be running the prisoners, it'd be a bit awkward if we just started wandering around.
Yeah, I don't think so.
All right.
Maybe a bit of light training, like keeping myself ready, get the blood going, so that if something does happen and it doesn't go our way,
you sort of keep your clothes on during your yoga, okay?
It doesn't
no
happen.
shot of that happening.
It
I'm
is,
afraid.
yeah, it just doesn't happen. I'm afraid. It's almost like his AirPods in, and he's just going at it.
I'm just
Alright.
imagining this arena filling
got
with
his
people and
AirPods
you
in, he
just
can't hear
naked in
us.
the middle, just flexing your
You'll have
bits.
to speak up. I'm wearing a towel.
Son of a bitch.
All right,
I'm too
Like he's
intentionally
wearing
looking at
nothing
you.
at all.
we take a quick 5 minutes before we jump into this. Then
Absolutely.
Fair enough.
sounds good. Welcome back, ladies, gentlemen, and MBs, as we are about to jump into what is basically going to be a trial that has been built up so far of all the encounters leading to this. So let's see how it'll go as our lovely heroes wake up on the morning of, go about their normal daily routines. Uther with his naked Pilates, Kagra maybe saying a prayer or two, Valwara preparing their magical abilities for the day, Imitar maybe reading or sharpening some knives. What is being written on my map? Objection. And Illithor doing Illithor things. So it is expected of you to be at the court ahead of time to prepare your prisoners to bring them out when the king arrives. So I guess you guys are planning on doing that.
Absolutely.
Very good. So you make your way to the court with your prisoners in tow. There are some extra guards that do accompany you on this journey, just in case any public interference happens to get in the way, because everybody wants to get a look at the people who were accused of killing or attempting to kill the king. But thankfully, you don't have too far to walk. It's only 45, 50 minutes up one flight of stairs to the next tier of the city and across a bridge to the Court of Golden Merits. The court itself, a large structure. There's a central dome to sort of protect the inside of it, the like center of the arena from rain or from the elements. An outer wall in which seats maybe a few tens of thousands of people, probably about 40, 50,000 people, and comfortably so. You could fit a lot more than that at a squish. As you guys arrive, maybe at about 9, an hour and a half or so before the trial is set to begin, it is absolutely packed. They're accused to get in. You guys, the soldiers who are more familiar with the Dorn people, who are escorting you here, sort of have to push the crowd aside with their shields and almost aim spears at some of them to get them to jump out of the way, just so you guys can get inside and secure that area that you're supposed to walk out from under, which is essentially like a gate beneath the seating stands, kind of like a gladiator arena would have, where the gladiators would exit from, or the animals that were unleashed onto them would leave from. You guys are led inside there, taking in just the scale of this massive, massive court and the scale of the audience in front of you. For a lot of you, this is the most amount of people you've ever seen in such a location. Very few occasions would require this many people to be in one place at one time. And knowing that you're at least going to be focused on by a large number of people is somewhat nerve-wracking, given the context of the situation. But time flows on, and before long, there is this distinct sound of a trumpet, and the crowd goes absolutely silent for a moment as, marching through the western entrance of the court, you see a platoon of soldiers, maybe 20, 30 strong, carrying flags and banners and spears and pikes, all wearing these very, very fancy sort of silvery armors almost, with white cloaks, specifically white cloaks, different from anything you've seen, which you know to specify, to signify that they are handpicked by either the king or the closest hands of the king as his personal guard. And somewhere in that group of soldiers, the king stands. And as they lead towards the king's front row seats and separate, you actually get a glimpse of him yourself. Could everyone make me a perception check?
I like rolling dice.
Rolling dice is fun.
We should roll more dice.
All right, so
Weird.
mixed rolls there to say the least. Illithor and Valwara, you two definitely get the clearest look.
It's like
you
this is
see-
in real life where I'm too busy looking at food.
The rest of you, there's just so many crowds going on, and from where you're standing, the King's Guard maybe not try and get in the way, but accidentally get in the way a little bit of your view. But Illithor and Valwara, you catch a glimpse of this man, the man of the hour, as he moves towards his seat. It is a older human man, maybe appearing to be in his late 50s, early 60s. His once longish black hair and beard definitely graying, his beard maintaining a little bit of black to it still. Sort of getting that almost like a silver fox kind of look to it. Or is it a badger where it's supposed to still have some black left in it? I can't remember. But he's wearing very fancy clothes.
Big hetron man over there.
Yeah. As well as sort of like a ceremonial armor piece and a golden cloak to signify he is the top dog. And a modest crown as well on his head with a very ornate looking sword at his side. But he is walking by himself. He looks healthy. If not ever so slightly, Valwara, you pick up on this particular, ever so slightly nervous being such of a in front of such of a large crowd. He hasn't been out in public in a
Hasn't been
while.
vaccinated.
Hasn't been vaccinated. You know, maybe he's a little bit exposed to the COVIDs. But he's nervous about it all. And as he takes his seat, a little bit of relief sets in as the crowd start to mumble again and noise refills the arena. But that was a solid 30, 40 seconds of no voices, just the sound of shuffling as people tried to get a look at their king that they have not seen eye to eye in a very long time. But moments after the king seats, a second trumpet sounds and the gate in front of you begins to rise, implying for you to lead your prisoners out into the center of the court and take to the stand that has been prepared for you. You see it is essentially a long table with 6 chairs that are one for each of the prisoners, of which there are metal bars at the center of the tables in front of each of them that you can tie their restraints to if necessary, or you can leave their restraints or manacles just to themselves, whatever you guys feel comfortable doing. You are free to do so.
I guess I will lead the guy that looks like who's meant to be me, and I'll kind of like sit him in the chair. I'll like leave the ropes there, but I'll stand behind him, arms crossed, prepared if prepared if he's going to kick off, that I'm there, ready to restrain him further if necessary.
Gotcha. Very good. So, an individual that walked in beside the king, a sort of younger looking, maybe in his late 20s, early 30s, half-elven man with a really, really carefully trimmed beard that comes to like a sharp pause right before his ears. Very, very well kept, fancy clothes, stands up in front of the arena, walks towards the center, arms at his sides, arms out wide at his sides, and speaks in a booming, loud voice. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Sorrel Wrightsworth. I am the keeper of the house and the speaker here today in the place of the king, to let you all know that we are ready to commence our events of the evening, of the afternoon. First things first, the case at hand. This is accusations made by the King's Council himself against 6 individuals who claim to have turned themselves in and to claim to be the wanted individuals that the king is accusing of regicide or attempted regicide. The court today will find whether these 6 individuals brought before us are the guilty party or not, and we will hear them out in an interesting turn of events, as was a clause in them turning themselves in. But without further ado, let us bring out the 2 leaders of either side here. First, General Bertol of the King's Guard, and the general you met yesterday, the 2.5 meter tall, 8-foot gentleman, stands up and walks towards the center. There's kind of like an inhale as he does so. Everyone kind of like, oh, he's really tall. As he takes his seat in front of you guys, basically like a panel to talk to your prisoners, Sorrel speaks again. And first Ranger Lord Berich, son of Baron Salvador. And Berich rises from a different state in the crowd in one of those under the crowd gates, and walks out towards his seat. Sorrel speaks. First, we will hear Bertol's testimony, and then we will hear from Berich as he aims to, I guess, make the case for these prisoners. We will also hear from the guards of the prisoners, who perhaps have information to add and will be called as witnesses to feed information as to how exactly this all came about. So first things first, General Bertol, what have you to say on this matter? General Bertol stands up from his seat and gives not the people sitting in front of him, the prisoners, but you guards, or would-be guards, a close look as his eyes kind of meet each and every one of yours individually before talking. The prosecution has nothing to prove here, other than the descriptions of the prisoners brought before us today perfectly match that which was given to us by the king. And Berthold takes a seat again. Sorrel, almost not expecting it to be that fast, stands up. That was short and sweet. Berich, please, make your case. And Lord Berich stands up. I bring before us 6 prisoners who have claimed to have attempted to kill the king, or have claimed to be the individuals at least that are being sought after for those reasons. However, it was brought to my attention not by my own actions, but through these brave soldiers who had a chance encounter upon them in the woods. Would you like to tell your tale of the events, my glorious men? And he looks to you.
I step forward. Well, to be perfectly honest, we were just camping. I believe Kagra had slain an owl bear that had attacked us, and I was butchering it up when these individuals in front of us came through and started to haggle over meat. Us as guards, we were a bit taken back, but we kind of sat them down and talked them through, and then a letter arrived from one of the guards pointing that the prisoners that were being sent to what was it called again?
Kazgul.
Kazgul,
Dungeon.
thank you. We're basically being given that these were the people that were in front of us. We then decided to swap armor with those people, and it now stands before you, us, the traitors that allegedly tried to kill the king, and them, the guards.
There is stunned silence in the crowd, and Berich kind of looks at you like, that's not exactly what I wanted to happen.
You jumped the gun there a bit.
A little bit. He looks towards the keeper of the house. We would now call upon King Fala to identify our prisoners here today. He kind of swallows nervously, and his hand instinctively reaches for his side where he's got his sword lying, just in case. King Fala stands up, and the murmuring and the breaths inhaled from the crowd all kind of come to a freeze. And he speaks in a voice that probably hasn't spoken loudly in quite some time. I will not abandon protocol and precedence. I speak when it is my turn to do so, and the good ranger Berich has now summoned me to do so. I will testify under the gods themselves that these are not the individuals who tried to commit a regicide against me, and I will have it known that I never identified nor gave descriptions of such individuals, but General Berthold took it into his own hands to make these matters a reality. He was the one who filed these cases and wrote these, well, arrest warrants for individuals I had never seen in my life before. Neither these guards who claim to be the actual suspects, nor these prisoners or imposters before me are individuals I believe I've ever met the acquaintance of before. Again, stunned silence across all of the crowds. Berich, visibly panicking. He begins to actually draw his sword a little bit, but Berthold steps forward and holds his blade out to him, and Berich kind of freezes. Berthold says, we'll have to have reparations made for these poor prisoners, so innocently taken by Lord Berich in his haste, no? And the king speaks again. No. This was your doing, unless I am mistaken here. You were the one who wrote those arrest warrants, were you not? Berthold kind of looks a little bit confused, and Berich then puts his fingers into his mouth and whistles. A whistle very similar to what the Baron gave at the castle just the day before. And again, the crowd kind of falls silent. The murmuring stops, and you hear what sounds like a roar in the distance. A screech, if you will. And then
Familiar?
a second. Familiar. And a third.
Wyvern.
And then a fourth. As 4 wyverns swoop over the arena and land in the middle of it. in front of the crowds. The crowds start screaming out of fear. And immediately begin to start fleeing. The king takes a couple of steps back as his guards charge in front. Berich swats the sword of Bartol away and draws his own sword and points it at him. Basically ready to be at each other's throats at a moment's notice. What are you guys doing?
Can we? Do you have a battle map prepared?
I don't think you should
I
say
do.
anything right now. You fucked us something fierce, man. Oh my
What
god.
the fuck, man?
Like, oh my god.
I wanted
Oh.
to like interrupt so badly and just be like, stealth check, sneaking into the crowd.
I was about to say, it's like I was so tempted after he started opening his mouth to see if I could roll, to see if I could just like put my hand over his mouth and just like roll, like pull him back, like shut the fuck up.
Hold on, let me think. We either fight the wyverns and
No, are the wyverns on our side? No.
I don't know if they're on our side now.
It
because
is hard
everything's
to
fucked.
tell right now.
We
what
can either
is
go
going
with
on.
the
In
Wyverns.
my opinion, we shut down the General Bertol, and then we figure out what the fuck is going on.
How
So
to
start
actually
with
kill the king. That's what you're trying to say.
no,
I
no,
think
no,
we
no,
need
no,
to
no,
go-
no, no, no. Didn't say that. I said shut down General Bertol, who the king is against, and hence we are also against. It seems that the
We're joining the king
Bertol
now. We're
is
not
the
going with the
person.
prince.
With the crowd in total panic, like what else is happening? Is
We're
there
not able to
soldiers
escape.
coming
Don't
from
even try to
Yeah.
escape. That's not going to
everywhere?
work.
So soldiers are charging in
Or-
from the sides here, basically forming a perimeter around the crowd, trying to get them evacuated. That seems to be their top priority. The king's guards are forming a protective circle around him as one of the wyverns gets dangerously close to them.
How do I have level
Um,
6 anxiety right now?
Where are the where are the wyverns like aggressing towards?
Allow me to just drop you on the map here.
Right, let's swing for the wyverns. I'm with you, Uther. Let's go.
No,
Oh,
no, no, no,
sorry,
no,
hang
no,
on,
no,
wait,
no, no.
don't drop yourselves. yet.
Let's
I don't
figure
have a
out what the
grid
fuck
here.
is going on first.
You've basically told them the entire plan before we could do level 1 of the plan, which is get the king to identify the people that tried to kill him.
Uther is not
But
known
the-
for his intelligence.
But the king is also not part of that. Bertol had already
On
said
timing.
that we are who we that the people that we brought in are who we put in. I understand the king was part of it, but the king is old and senile. Once one person
I-
stated,
I
who we were.
personally thought you'd slipped up as soon as
He
you
slipped up.
named Kagra by name, and I was like, "Oh God, I wonder will they notice?" And then
And you were
you
like,
just
"Oh, no, fuck it."
kept going.
So do
Yeah.
we go prince or do we go king? Your call, Uther.
we haven't gone anywhere yet. Let's let's get
I
the
mean,
lay
you
of
have
the
to-
land first.
But,
Yeah.
like,
Why don't we
which
first
side
go
are we
down on the
taking
map?
here? We
Like
have to
our
take a side.
group?
Oh, it's not that big.
That's fucking big, Jesus.
That big.
I mean, like, it's still
Pretty
fucking
big.
humongous.
So there's
I was
four
gonna
of
say,
those.
instead of attacking one thing in particular, how about we just focus on whatever's coming to kill us first?
Yes, we will protect ourselves first, but let's also figure out if if this is some backwards plan that the king had with Salvador. To get rid of Beryl because Beryl's an ass. Let's figure out if because realistically here our allegiance is already in question no matter what way we look at it. We can do whatever we want here. We just have to figure out where.
I wonder why that
Do we
is.
have- Do we have like soldiers, king?
Yeah, I'm getting
everyone.
them out there now.
Cool.
But the wyverns are,
So,
if we're
And are
continuing
we
on our
up the
normal
front?
path,
Is the
let's say,
entrance are the exits on the other side of
s-
four wyverns?
stop thinking
So-
about exits, Sinnot. We're not getting out of this.
let me put
It's
that
like,
down.
we're fucked here. We have to think about whether
Let's
we're going
go.
to join and fight alongside the guy with the wyverns or not. Right?
This is where you guys entered from. There.
Okay.
Beric entered from here, Bertol from here, and the king sitting over here.
Okay, so
let me get his guards out. I don't know why the images didn't stay when I touched the map for some reason.
that's okay. So right now the three of the wyverns are aggressing towards Beryl, right? Bertol.
Yes, two of them are, and one of them is not. And one of them is moving towards the king.
One of them is moving
So
towards the
These
kings.
two are moving towards the
Bertol.
towards the center. Actually, he'd be more like there. Yeah, which he is towards the center. That's him. King.
Right, this dude.
He's the one coming for you, or at least looking towards you guys in the interim.
He's
Oh,
looking
he's-
towards
Oh,
us.
Jesus
King-
Christ!
King is
what a
big.
man
He's
he
not
is.
that big. King ain't that big. Why won't that flatten? There we go. King there.
And then they're all over, and then one guard is going this direction. Okay. And what is not Salvador, Berich doing?
Berich is drawing blades against Bartol right now as well. Two of them are at each other's necks. Why are you twisted? Why would you?
A lot of guards protecting the king.
Yep, they take their king's safety very seriously. One more for the road. There we go.
Why is he
Looking-
That
King,
wyvern approaches, and then where is? There we go. Sorry.
Can
That-
I get
Is
the
there-
insight on what the fuck Berich
Okay.
is doing right now?
So, here's the situation. This is where you guys are. Oh, your guards as well. You've got your.
We've got
Forgot about these guys. Not gonna lie. to you.
6 here. No, it's alright.
How about we
One.
let them go?
3.
Mine's untied.
Yeah. We didn't tie them down.
Okay,
I
you know
tied
what?
mine down enough to the point where he could get out if things went south. So
For the sake of East, then I'm gonna say they're sprinting for the exit right now.
That's perfectly fine.
So you guys are here at the sort of chairs and stuff. This wyvern is looking towards you. These two are looking towards the center, and this one is moving towards the king. And his guards have stuff drawn on them. In the center, Bertal and Beric have swords drawn against each other and are probably the click of a finger away from trying to kill each other.
I'll let him at it.
I drop my chains to the ground and look at the rest of the group.
I like send my arms back, and like my cloak flies off, and I just ready my quarterstaff.
I look at everyone and say, for the king or for the prince?
I shout to Berich, what do you want us to do now? This one looks hungry as I get
Okay, so. Ooh, you actually, because a nat 20 is very convenient for you here, let me tell you.
Yeah, well, I was due at some time. I think it's my first.
Of everything happening, Berich looks a lot more concerned than Bartal does. Bartal looks like he's pleased with the situation, whereas Beric is kind of panicking. He realizes he is in deep, deep shit. Bartal should be the same, and there is nearly no reason for them to be fighting each other if what the king is saying is true. They are kind of on the same side, so it is odd that they are fighting each other.
I'm gonna do something dumb.
All right.
You already did.
No, way more dumb than before. I'm gonna double dash to Bertal. Or
Alright, well.
no, yeah, Bertal, right?
Let that be the action that sparks initiative, I guess.
Fucking
God. Okay.
Yep.
Here we are.
This
On
is
the
where it
dot.
goes.
There's invisible.
So-
Oh, there it is.
This guy's
Okay,
not
now
here.
let's
Ignore
go.
this.
Oh, yeah, we
Ignore
have to
this
click
wyvern at the
thing.
bottom.
Sorry.
Oh, that's.
Look at that. Fucking.
Oh, we'd love to see that.
Lovely.
How do I manually add it if it doesn't pop up?
I think I have to do it. You need to, when you're rolling initiative, you gotta remember to click the picture of your character on roll 20.
Ah, fuck. Can I manually add mine?
Yeah, I can't wait. Who needs it? Imitar.
Because I rolled a 20
Polara.
plus 3.
Roll 20.
Yeah,
so
no, you're good. You're good. It's your first roll.
select-
Illithor.
Where was initiative again?
It's next to armor class.
Yeah, just to the left of armor class.
Oh,
Two
yeah.
to the left of hit points. Well, actually below hit points. So you should be able to edit the numbers yourself, I think, of what you rolled. Can you?
If anyone
do I have to
changes
do that?
it, if anyone
Yes.
changes it, though, it resets yours.
Yeah, and just press N.
I Can't see myself. Oh, wait, I can scroll. I didn't realize there was a bar on the edge there.
I was going to say.
Oh, yeah.
I can expand it. If you pull it up
Yeah.
a bit, you can actually pull it down and expand the bar, so you can see everyone at once.
Sweet. Thank you. I have gone 2 whole sessions without realizing there was a scroll bar on that.
It happens. It happens. Ooh. What everyone's get. Good.
Could I say something as I'm running across?
Yeah, this your action is gonna be the one that sparks initiative here. What
I
did
shall-
Imitar roll real quick? Oh, it's not 20. Jeez.
I shout to Bertol, do not attack the king, and tell the other dragon to just stay here in protection. This is our problem, as I like charge and like prepare one of the chains to come over the top of his head.
Okay. 1 sec, sorry. I have a lot of initiatives to roll here. Ooh. Ooh. And a 9. Okay, so sorry, run me through that again.
So like as I like start to run, I shout to it is Bertol, isn't it? I am getting it. No, it's Berich.
Berich.
Berich is on our side, not on our side, but he's our team.
Yeah, he
Right.
was at least on your side.
Yeah. So my read of the situation for everybody is that Bertol has tried to stir shit, and he's managed to cause absolute chaos and everything. And now I didn't help, and I'm not saying I did help, but he's the one trying to stir shit for some reason, and we have to stop that. So I shouted to Berich, don't tell the dragons to not attack anybody but this guy, as I'm about to bring a thing down on top of his brain. A chain.
Fair enough. As all of this is happening, he looks to you and says, I'm not the one controlling these.
You called them! And then, yeah, that's, I feel like that's 7 seconds or 6 seconds.
Imitar. You're up.
Oh boy. Did I hear that or?
You probably would have heard that. I assume it was probably kind of
Alright,
shouted
well-
desperately.
Oh, it was, like, manic.
Well,
Oh,
first of
what
all,
was my music? Sorry, excuse my music. We need some fucking.
I'm gonna step back a bit then,
Oh, actually, I'll change this
and
Spotify track.
we're gonna go with a hex onto the blue one.
Oh yeah, all right. I'll mark that as the hex.
I don't know if that does damage. I just casted it to make sure it like.
It does damage when you hit him with a different attack.
I hit cast because that way it makes sure that it counts the spell in the
Yeah,
D&D
that's
Beyond.
fair. That's all good.
And to follow up, I'm gonna go with an Eldritch Blast on the blue one as well.
Oh, you're
Go for it.
attacking the dragon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I heard like the other guy say, I'm not
Yeah,
the one
I'm
controlling
not in
them,
control,
so I'm
yep.
assuming. Also,
I'm
he's
gonna
looking at me
die.
like I'm food, so no.
True.
So we're gonna go with two
Well, I'm
Eldritch
sure
Blasts.
dragons do eat birds.
Let's hope they don't eat
That's
goats.
a good one.
There's a 15 hit.
15 does hit, yes.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna throw another one. Fuck. It was almost on 15. Does a 10 hit? I'm guessing.
10
not.
does not hit, unfortunately.
Okay, we get one at least.
And with the extra
5.
d6 as well.
5 plus the extra d6 for 4.
4, very nice, very nice. Opening things up, a blast of energy arcs across the battlefield and slams into the
Wait,
red.
if I get
wyvern.
I got a nat 20. Does that do anything to begin the fight?
Oh,
or-
you get
You would have
advantage.
had advantage,
So I'll let you re-roll that
yes.
second Eldritch Blast, basically, for the
Oh,
same
that's
effect.
it. Oh, okay, so I just hold shift and hold it, right?
You just roll it again because you've already rolled once.
Wait, so
So,
So
roll
just
for your
do
second
another
attack.
straight attack. Yeah.
oh, okay.
That's
Nice.
damage.
I need
That's
this
the-
wasted
yeah,
your
that's just
good
the damage.
damage roll.
You roll the hit, not
Roll
the
to
damage.
attack, yeah.
Oh, I thought you said I was just rolling for the thingy.
Yeah, so you're rolling to hit with the second hit again. It's as if
Oh.
you had advantage on it.
There you
15, and that'll hit, and you get the 10 damage onto it.
And now
Okay,
Plus
that was
your
hex.
hex again.
Sorry.
Roll hex damage.
Oh, and again.
Does hex not get
Yep.
used once they hit it? with
Nope.
it?
Hex
That's the
lasts
great thing about
until
Hex.
Hex lasts up to an hour.
Okay.
Hex is disgusting like that. All right, very nice. What was that, like 21 points of damage? Dirty. That is it for your turn, though. Illithor. Oh, that's you want to move somewhere, actually.
He moved
I
already
moved a
behind.
little bit backwards.
Oh, you stepped back. Yeah, gotcha. Illithor.
Stepped back as I threw.
That's
past.
right. What's 35? Alright, so I will start off by moving right
He's going for
to
the
the
exit.
He's going for the fucking tour de force off the fucking banisters. Just bang.
He's not going to be here for the next session, Lance. He's getting out of this, like.
I am standing, so moving my full 35 feet right to the door, putting everyone between me and the dragon, being like, yep, worst comes to worst, you're on your own in the middle of that one. But once I am there,
Gonna open the door and
use
leave. Yeah.
this, at least as a potential decision changer, I will cast Ensnaring Strike 2nd level as a bonus action, and then launch 2 longbow attacks on the blue one, which is looking at me and just got smacked by looking at us and just got
Yep.
angered by our crow friend here. So I'm going to definitely see if I can at least snare this so
Absolutely.
that if anything goes wrong. So to hit, first action, 18.
That does it.
And then the damage.
An
Eight.
ensnaring strike, right? What does that
Yeah.
do again?
They had to do the.
It makes a strength save, if I remember correctly.
Let me find it. Yeah, I always have to dice in the way. So 2nd level. Let me see what it says. So yeah, where is it? Yeah, strength saving throw.
Nice.
That is a lot. 21 on that one from him.
So he is
Shit.
not snared.
He is not
Um,
snared.
Does this work for the next time? So my 2nd strike, does that the
Yeah,
2nd
it's
arrow
still there. yeah.
still there? Sweet. So 2nd arrow, 14.
That will hit.
I mean, they're massively hard to miss the black.
12 damage.
True.
They do
You
have
notice,
dragon hide though.
Yeah, it seems to be slightly softer than regular dragon hide,
Okay.
which is interesting. 12 damage, dirty. Very nice.
Well done, well done, well done.
All right. Any movement for you beyond
Hiding.
getting to there? That was your movement, wasn't it?
It is
Okay.
the 2nd strength saving throw workout.
Oh, yes, sorry. That's a natural 20.
Oh god damn it.
I'm getting my good rolls out of the way, though.
I literally have cast this spell so many times and it's landed once.
I know. At least it's like it's like you only need to cast it once to get a bunch of attempts at it,
Yeah.
which is good at least.
Once for
Uh,
20 attempts at using it.
The wyvern is going to lunge for Kagra, the closest target to it.
Of course.
Kagra, it is going to attempt to bite you, first of all, with
Mhm.
a 19 to hit.
Yep.
That is 13 piercing damage as its teeth find little holes in your armor and scrape past. And then it is going to, with its tail, attempt to sting you. There's a sharp point on its tail. Is that 13? Yeah, so that's a 20 to hit.
Yep.
So you take 12 piercing damage, and I need you to make a Constitution saving.
Pause.
Oh, that didn't go through, did it? Oh, that's grand.
9. That unfortunately fails. So you take an additional 21 poison damage,
Fuck.
as its stinger has a venomous aspect to it, or poisonous rather than venomous.
He's not poisoned, is he?
You are not poisoned, though. No,
Thank fuck. Okay, good.
that would have been even worse.
That's worse. Yeah, I would take the damage over poison. By the way. Okay.
That is the end of its turn.
Oh,
The
Guards.
guards are going to ready their action for when the king's ready to move to retreat further. But
do the other
Kagra.
weapons not move, or confused?
Oh, you're right. Sorry, I'm dumb. This
No,
guy moves
the other
in.
ones don't move.
These
Fuck.
guys move in. This guy makes a strike at one or two of the guards, who also strike back. Oops. One hit there.
Feel like if
Trying to make it
CJ
more
had been,
realistic.
feel like if CJ had also been in that house, we would see him disappear from his screen and just tackling you off that chair in about 30 seconds.
Yeah. You motherfucker.
So this wyvern is making a stab at Berich, and then a stinger attack against Utherlock.
At Berich? These aren't his dragons.
So it would seem.
He literally said that.
No, he said he didn't have control, but he's part of the family that controls the dragons.
Oh,
So
That's
that
what I'm
is-
saying.
that's why I hit the other one. I was like, well, if he's not controlling him, get
That's
rid
a
of him.
God, this D&D
24
isn't
to
in
hit
person.
you.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Me?
Yeah,
Cloud Rune hit the fucking blue guy.
that's Berich.
Red
No,
guy.
oh, Berich is the blue?
Berich is
No,
the blue.
dragon. Blue dragon.
No. Wait, so red is who we're going for here.
Yeah.
Red is Bartol.
Bartol. Cloud Rune hits Bartol. No saves.
Okay.
He just gets hit if a 24 hits him.
24 does hit him. So he takes 10 piercing. And 25 poison damage. Oh, wait, he's make con save. Which he definitely fails. And takes 25 poison damage.
Okay.
That hurts him a lot.
Good.
Kagra.
Bastard's about to fucking die.
Oh, he looks good still.
Yeah.
I don't.
Neither
certainly
does
do
Uther, I
not.
think.
I forgot how much damage
This
I
is
took.
his fault for starting this in the beginning.
Yeah, I know. Don't worry about it.
I may have
20
said
to
they
hit.
had more turns, but I didn't give us in the
Oh,
situation.
20 definitely hits.
Slashing, and then I want to do that other thing. What's it called? Divine something? Divine Smite.
Oh, Divine Smite, yeah, absolutely.
So when you hit with a melee weapon attack,
so-
you can spend one spell slot to deal 2d8s to a target plus 1d8 for each spell level higher than first. Max 5d8.
What spell are you? What level are you doing it at?
Second level?
Second level. Okay, so there's 3d8 added onto this attack.
So I do 2d8 plus 2
Just
more
no, just
d8s?
3d8. Just 3d8.
When you hit with a melee attack, you can spend one spell slot to deal 2d8.
Yeah. So
extra eight
at
damage
first
to
level,
target.
it's 2d8, and every level above that, you add another d8.
And then
so
it
if you're
says
doing it
plus
second
1d8
level, it's-
for each spell level higher than first.
Yes, which is
So 3.
1d8 for second level, so it's 3d8 total.
Okay, so that's that, and that's 2d8, and that's 1d8. So 3 overall.
So 16, and you're using the sword one-handed or two-handed?
It's all. I don't know why one-handed, two-handed shows up. It's meant to be a greatsword.
Oh, you've got the wrong sword. My bad. I
Yeah.
can fix that for you next time.
Yeah,
It's meant to
so
be
always
a
two-handed.
it's meant to be 2d6 for the damage then. 2d6 plus 2.
Okay,
So it's
Well-
it's even more than the two-handed.
so I
Normally.
changed that to do 2d6.
Yeah, I can edit it in the actual item, which would be a lot more efficient. But yeah,
Okay.
just roll 2d6 in the roll 20 and add 2.
7.
7. Very good, very
That's-
good.
Oh, okay, sorry.
17,
Plus the 16, so 23 damage on the first hit.
and then the same again. I
Yep.
guess. So 2 more d6, and then another spell slot to do the extra divine smite.
Well, to try and hit first.
Oh yeah, true. Forgot about that.
That important little detail.
Nope.
Oh no,
Oof.
unfortunately not. the poison in your bloodstream sort of obscures your muscle as you try and go for a very practiced strike, but unfortunately just doesn't have the force behind it to pierce the wyvern's hide. Any movement for you?
No, I'm standing between the other guys anyway. I'm just hoping one of
Gotcha.
them can heal me. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, headbutt.
Working on it.
Wara, it's your turn.
I'm gonna take a step back behind Vindu and put some space between us. Then I'm going to cast Life Transference on Kagra.
Nice.
Sure thing. How much juice does he get?
28.
28. Oh my god.
Thank
I'd
It's
you.
like nearly all
14.
the damage.
Nearly.
Very good.
Then as my bonus action, I'm gonna cast Healing Word. Or where is it? Yeah, Healing Word on Kagra.
Healing word and Kagra. Okay. Wait, is life transference is a spell, is it?
Yes.
Yeah, then you cannot
it's
do healing
one-
word as well.
One is a bonus action, the other is a main action.
Yeah, but if you use a spell as a bonus action, you can't also cast a spell as an action.
And vice versa.
Right.
At level spell. It's a weird rule.
That is annoying.
So the way around it is you do a healing word as a bonus action, and then you can also do you can do a cantrip. But
Yeah, you can
That's
use a
what I do.
cantrip.
I use spells and then cantrips to do damage, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right, okay. That's a regular action.
often spellcasters find it difficult to utilize their bonus action because of this. So
Yeah, I was about to say it's kind of annoying.
yeah,
Yeah, it is
Often-
one of the most
So,
hotly
the
debated
one-
rules.
The one bonus action I have is a spell, so like. It's
so
kinda
unfortunately,
stupid.
9 times out of 10, your spells are going to be your bonus action is going to be wasted.
Yeah. So yeah, that's all I can do.
All right.
That's okay though.
That's why I like
That's
Hex
still
being my
massive.
bonus action. Means
I
can't
might
use
survive
that
another
as a
round.
cantrip.
Is Hex a cantrip or a spell?
So
Spell.
Hex is a spell, but Eldritch Blast is a cantrip, so he can use
Yeah.
Eldritch Blast with his action.
Oh, okay.
That's,
So
That's-
ideally, if you had a cantrip that did damage, or well, there's no healing cantrips, but a cantrip that did damage, you do that and tie it with healing word if you wanted to do that, or action, do something like the life transference, and then no,
Cool.
yeah,
I'll know for next time. Cool.
awesome. King, no, not King, Berich. Berich is going to attempt to try and persuade the dragon to calm down, the red dragon. That is a 26. Jesus.
my man is very persuasive.
Yeah. Red Wyvern listens and takes a heal and obeys Berich here.
Very good.
I'll put it. Well, I'll
Flip it.
flip it.
Flip it.
Oh, that's a good idea. I can do this. Advanced flip horizontal. Bingo.
Yeah. So
Passive. Uther.
I charge around, probably to here. I can't. Do I get
Well,
flanking
flip-
with that? Because he's now kind of on our team.
You get a +1. You get a +1.
Okay. I go giant.
You go giant. All
I
right.
go big.
Should you not flip the other dragon that's facing the king as well? He's facing away from us.
No,
guy?
no, because he's not on our team. Only flip the ones that are on our team.
Right.
That's how
okay,
it's
okay.
working. So left, they're fighting us. To the right, they're like not necessarily fighting us, but they're not necessarily fighting with us either.
They're listening to Berich.
I don't trust the chains yet, so I pull out the great sword and I am going to try and plunge it into his chest.
Okay. Go for it.
Screaming, "You motherfucker!" Oh shit. And go again.
I like to picture that's exactly
Try
what
it.
you
Oh my
said.
god, 14? No.
You shove your blade at him. He catches it between his hands, like clapping his hands between it, dropping his sword to do so. And you try and twist it, and he throws it to the side and has a dagger ready to go in his hand. But instead of using his reaction to stab you with it, he whispers to you, "You're going to want to hear what I have to say."
I action
King.
surge and go again.
Oh, sure, go for it.
I don't like him. 19.
19. He is going to use his reaction to shield, and it misses.
Oh, he's a spellcaster. Yeah, go again. Yeah, no. Fuck.
Fortunately not. He sort of gives you like a look of like, hear me out, please.
The fuck, man?
As
He just called a
Else-
bunch of dragons that attacked me.
potentially. Elsewhere, the king runs well. Barrett kind of called the dragons, but yeah. The king manages to leave the battlefield. That takes us to Bertal's turn. Bertal is going to give a whistle of his own. And that requires his action, unfortunately. That is his action.
I
Imitar.
like it, Chrissy.
Chrissy, wake up.
I don't like this.
Right. Let's see. I'm gonna cast Toll of the Dead on the blue one. It has to
Mhm.
make a Wisdom saving throw.
Yeah. Which it gets a 14 on.
It has to be a 13, so I think it doesn't do anything then.
Oh, yeah, no, unfortunately, it does not.
Fair enough. I'm gonna just, given that didn't work, just move a little bit further away.
Wise. Illithor.
Yes.
I'm like next to him, like, if you run away, I'm with you. Escape.
What does? Where was this? Trying to decide between two bonus actions here. Or was the other one an action? Where the hell was it? What was the name of the thing I cast on the captain for weaknesses?
This is your character.
Oh,
now.
Hunter Sense.
Oh, yes. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. That's an action. That means I won't be able to shoot.
You can shoot as a bonus.
No, you can't choose.
Can you not?
Nope.
So
There's specific circumstances where you can.
yeah.
Not here.
As my bonus action on top of my ensnaring strike, which lasts for a minute, I will cast Slayer's Prey on the blue one for the bonus damage.
Yep.
And fire 2 more arrows.
Go for it. That definitely hits. And good news, it is now failed. It is restrained.
Nice.
Nice.
Next attack has advantage.
So it takes 11
Uh-huh.
plus.
And then you roll with advantage for this one.
No, the snaring strike does damage too, doesn't it?
On its turn. On the way,
Oh,
the wagon turn.
sorry.
But it's D6 anyway.
6, yeah.
From the hunter's thingy-majig.
And the second attack, does that roll with advantage?
Yeah, because it is restrained.
Bonus 2, yeah. The ensnaring strike damage is on the next turn, isn't it?
Yeah, on its turn it takes the damage.
Yeah. And then my second shot.
Oh, that's natural 20. That's a
There we
critical.
go. Let's go.
Nice.
Double damage.
I might not die.
Yep.
14
Well,
was
it's
Slayer's Prey.
it's
No, roll
not.
another
It's
D8.
10. Or you can roll another D8. Add to it. Because that
another
adds the.
D8.
Yep.
6. So that's
So 13.
13 is close enough.
Yeah. And the Slayer's Prey is only on the first attack.
Oh, that's.
I
That's
take
fair enough,
as
unfortunate.
bonus action you designate one creature you can see within 60 feet. The first time you hit that with a weapon attack.
Yeah,
it takes
okay.
1d6.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Unlucky, because that also would have been doubled from the crit. For future reference. Unlucky though. Okay, that takes us to Wyverns. This fella's restrained, but he takes, what is it, a D something damage for restrained
D6.
strike? D6? You want to roll that for me there?
It's 2d6 because it was second
2d6.
level.
Oh,
Hey.
dirty. 4. Nice. It's actually looking really, really hurt. Yeah, another meaty hit, and it might be at death's door. This guy is going to make one attack. Oh, no, sorry. This guy is confused. Yeah. He hasn't been given orders yet, so he's just going to wait. This guy is going to attack one on you and one on Uther. Actually misses on Bertol because he still has. I know he doesn't have shield anymore, but it still misses actually. Uther, that is a 9 to hit. Don't think that hits either.
Let's go.
This dragon is going to. Well, the wyvern, excuse me, not dragon. He's going to use his action to dash across the battlefield.
The orange guy?
Yep, and end up here.
Oh,
no.
fuck's sake. Oh, well, that's
Yep.
all of his actions, right? Okay.
Yeah, he doesn't have an attack this turn. But it is actually he can move one more, so he's gonna get you in his melee range as well. Cool. Guards moving off camera. Kagra, tis your turn. Oh, this guy has disadvantage attack against you. I forgot about that. Sorry, quick. Which misses. It's a 4 by a mile.
Quick question: Are wyverns elementals? I assume they breathe fire. Does that make them elementals?
No, they are technically of the dragon creature type.
Okay, cool.
But I like where your head's at. So Kagra. Oh
that
yeah,
hit?
that'll hit. That absolutely hits.
Now, I have to change my rolls. It's 2d6 plus 2.
2d6 plus 2. Yep, I'll have that fixed for you for the next one. So you'll just be able to click the thing again.
And with the divine thing as well.
What level are you doing the divine one at? Divine smite?
Level 1.
Level 1. Cool.
So that is
A D.
So 2d6 plus
2D.
2 plus 2d8.
2D8, yeah.
Paladins.
Loads and loads of
I
dice.
just threw all my dice at one go.
Yep.
Uh,
And then add 2 on that as well. So 17 damage in that hit. Sheesh. It is so hurt.
Let's
Go
let one
again.
more go.
Maybe don't need to smite it.
No.
Depends if I hit or not.
That'll hit.
17 will hit.
It'll need to be a meaty hit if there's no smite
Okay.
on it, I'll tell you. It is
You already
possible.
did- Did you already use a level 2 smite, by the way?
He's both his level 2s, I think.
Because
What?
the
Yeah.
slots aren't marked on your character page, just so you know.
It
they
won't
are, I
update
marked-
for you unless you refresh it.
Yeah, you have to
Uh,
refresh to see them update.
It's 1 second level and 1 first level I've
There-
used.
Okay,
No,
so
you
they
used-
both
that
came
was
out as
your-
first level.
Yeah, and in the first turn I used a second level.
You used 2 second levels the first turn, did you?
No, because I missed.
I thought. Oh, you
I
did
missed
miss.
on the
You're right.
second
Yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
You're dead right.
So you could, yeah. You could
So I
probably
hit, I
guarantee
hit
it
on
with
that
the
one. Jesus
second
fucking
level.
Christ.
Yeah, this one definitely hits.
D6, and
It-
then I'll use the second level to get 3.
3d8.
2d8 for your weapon attack.
2d6.
Oh,
for
2d6
my
for your
weapon.
2d6.
weapon.
2d6 for his weapon,
Weapon
3d8 for
attack
the
for your-
smite. Yeah.
Sorry, yeah, I got it backwards.
Plus 2. 20.
So 20.
That'll do it. How do you want
Nice
to
one.
slay the wyvern?
So I actually have to use my weapon, or can I like chew on its eye or something? Just something really fucked up.
Yeah,
in
you
the
can do
brain.
something metal like chew on its eye, sure.
Yeah, I just want to chew on its eye for a bit. Just watch it explode. Just absolute
Just like-
senseless garbage. Like,
You stab your sword through its throat, pull it in nice and close so you're face to face with it, and as it's like almost
can I
wondering what
lock
the hell you're
eyes
gonna
at
do,
Uther as well while I chew on its eye?
yeah,
Show him
you
how it's
just
fucking done.
send your fangs deep into its eye socket, rip its eye out, stare at Uther as you chew, and Uther probably gives a look of approval or something like that.
So it counts as one.
Valwara.
Okay. This is probably pointless, so I'm not going to do that. Although it'd be hilarious. I am going to take a step back and regroup with Kagra. Then I'm going to use which one is higher? Plus 1d8, plus 1d4, plus 4. I'm going to use. Oh, that's an action. Okay. I'm going to use Healing Word on Kagra first as my bonus action.
Mm-hmm.
So he
Ooh.
heals 8.
Nice.
Dirty roll.
Yeah, it was a d4 and I rolled a 4 plus 4.
Yeah.
So
Love it.
and then I am going to aim at the orange dragon and I'm going to use Sacred Flame.
Go for it. Is that a dex save for it?
You can check. It is a dex save. Yes.
It fails.
Okay.
Nice one.
12. Very nice. This is on orange. Maths. Bat. Cool. Bingo. Awesome. Anything else for Valuara? You moved away from it, right?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, it is going to take its attack of opportunity.
Fuck.
Which I don't. Does a 12 hit you?
Is that armor? What, higher than armor class? Is it?
Equal to or higher than?
Yeah, it's higher. It's +1. So yes, it is.
So yes.
Okie day. That is only with one of its. I think it can actually only use. Oh, it uses its claw for that. Okay, so that is 19 slashing damage. Jesus,
Fucking hell! What the
it rolled a 7 and an 8 plus 4.
That's tough.
Jesus.
Why is there an orange one near me again?
Yeah, is that not meant to be attacking Imiter and not Valvara? Because Valvara's beside me.
No, Valwar was beside it.
I
Though. He
moved
left
away
its
from it.
reach.
I moved
Oh,
away
yeah,
from
got the
It got to use its reaction to make a strike as he left. Berich.
I looked
Isn't it-
back because I was looking at something else, and all of a sudden I noticed there's a dragon in front of my face, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah, it'd be like
nice.
that. Dragons be mobile. Berich is going to order this guy to try to calm down its buddy. Uther.
I hold my action to attack and I say, it better be good, otherwise this is plunging into your throat.
Oh. King moves elsewhere. Bertal looks at you and says, come with me.
You have to pleasure me first.
Okay.
Uh,
I'll be chewing on that one for a while.
Where?
He looks over towards the south end of the map where so the wyvern's roars are kind of higher pitched. They're almost like a bestial scream. This is the roar of a dragon. And what lands in front of you can only be described as a fully grown, if not a fully matured, ancient blue dragon that just slams into the battlefield. The wyverns in shock recoil a little bit. The soldiers and the people outside scream as the entire sky just darkens as it flies down onto the battlefield. Like huge skid marks and thuds are felt around the place as its claws dig into the flesh, and it looks towards you specifically, lets out a roar, and just bows its head, waiting for seemingly Bertal to do something.
Why did it have to be
Uh,
dragons?
Yeah, I put the sword on my back. Yeah, no, fuck this shit. I'm walking wherever. Yeah, no, I follow.
Is it ice or
Bertal,
I'm
lightning?
guessing this a blue dragon is something we should definitely not fuck with.
No,
Is it
no.
ice
This is
or
an
is it lightning?
ancient blue dragon. You don't just follow. I just words of advice, guys. Just follow at this point. We don't. Win.
The dragon is going to use a legendary action at the end of the turn to move over towards the rest of you. And it's going to just land there where it can literally get all of you because it's so freaking big if you want to get onto it.
I help anybody that needs to get up.
Anyone that wants to get on it as a reaction, I will allow that.
Yeah, I'll get on
Hands
it.
extended.
Fuck it.
Yep, no,
I grab Uther's hand and I kind of spit the eye towards him. The eye that's chewing from the wyvern.
Well, it's not like we have anything better to do.
I try and catch the. Can I try catch the eye that he's spitting at me?
Sure.
Soup-
What, your hand or your
for
mouth?
for soup later.
So,
Good soup.
the dragon begins to fly away with you guys and Bertal on its back, but as it gets to the edge of the arena, it looks back and just unleashes its breath weapon across the arena to see what
Yeah.
happens, and the
Wait,
light that comes out
is
of
it
its
lightning?
mouth.
Is it
It
lightning?
is lightning.
Can I
It is
join?
lightning. Go on, yeah.
Like
What's-
a
wait, what's the-
tiny
what's the
little
range of
dragon with the
yours?
big dragon lightning. Cool.
What's the
What's
range
the range
of
of
yours
yours?
again?
Checking now. Where
I think it's
is
30
my...
feet, in which case it
Did-
probably doesn't have the range. to do
Did
that.
Berich come with us?
Eric
30
did not
foot?
come with you.
30 feet.
Did I?
30 feet. Good to know. This goes 120 feet.
You jumped on the back of the guy that you tried to stab.
So for
okay, so-
context, it's a cone, right, Ev?
It is. It goes
They
if he
can't.
angles
They
that
can't
right,
see that, but I'll snapshot
Yeah.
it. So draw it on, and I'll snapshot it.
What I'm thinking though, Evan, because the way lightning works, like
thinking like it add an extra bit of
conductively, if I
conduction to
fire
it.
my lightning into his
Game
lightning,
rule for everybody.
it'll get stronger.
I hear you. I hear you.
So can I help?
That's the length of the dragon's breath for anybody who doesn't have
The flash of light before you all is blinding, and Kagura, you're instantly there as well, using yours to try and soup it up a little bit. Roll damage on yours while you have it. Why not?
Yay! 2d10s.
Oh my god!
Did it
This
just
was a-
incinerate everything?
It definitely kills one of them.
Yay! I did 3 damage. Oh no, 13. Never
did
mind. That was a 10.
13. So combined, yeah, they have 110 hit points. He rolled a 97 on damage. It will kill the other 3 wyverns.
Holy
I
shit!
helped.
GG.
You held you with the
Sick.
difference between them being on 13 hit points or 0. This
GG.
guy was dead regardless. He only had 97 hit points remaining. Or 90. No, he had 98 hit points remaining. So actually, yeah, he helped with him as well. Your
All I'm
burst was
hearing
enough
is
to get him
I've
over
hit
the
a
mark.
milestone and no one else has. So I've killed 4 wyverns.
Unfortunately. I think you all
I'll
you all have
remember
a part to
that.
play. But the dragon
I'm just
begins
questioning
to
the fact that
fly
we
away.
came in. Can I question something of the fact that we came in
Absolutely.
here to do some kind of trial with the guy that's still on the floor? By the way, the
Hey,
blue-blooded
you're
guy.
alive, aren't you? I look at you. You're alive. Shut up. This guy has
No.
a bigger dragon.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just in general what's happening. I'm not talking about my character. I'm just confused. What the fuck is happening?
I don't know what's happening. I thought I sold us out, and then suddenly we're not sold out anymore. So
I'm going to
just
go
roll
up to
with
the
it.
dragon
That's a
and
question.
whisper slowly
Is
in its
what's
ear,
face
"Dad,
alive?
that you?"
Bershal pats it on the neck and says, "Good boy, good boy, Rathgul, good boy." As you all fly off over the city.
Question.
Mhm.
What about Berich? He's
Oh,
still
he is-
We can
Is he
land and
dead?
sort all
Dead
this
as
shit
a
out.
dodo, I'd
Relax.
say.
So, funny enough, the breath weapon seems to have actually missed him. From
Okay, well,
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
Bullshit,
It
lad.
has, yeah. It
That
could have been ticked
being-
one way down,
it
but
could have been ticked one way down. I feel like the dragon would have gone for him, so I'm gonna say it did. I'll have him roll a save, which he fails and takes half of the 110 damage. So you watch him drop.
I
Whether
was gonna
he's
say, 'cause
dead,
if they
unconscious.
managed to kill 3 wyverns with that, there's no way that guy's not full under the floor, at least heavily injured, if not dead.
Yeah, that is
Maybe
exactly.
he was
is
wearing
either
rubber
heavily
boots.
injured or dead right now.
Rubber
Uh,
boots, he's fine.
He's
My
not
ha-
rubber boots.
I
My
know I'm
hands
He
a
are-
just
frail bird
falls like a
person.
sack of potatoes.
I know I'm a frail bird person with 33 health, but that's some bush.
why do you think I jumped on its back? I ain't
get
being
it.
in the way of that shit. I'm running.
Everyone's dying from that.
Yep.
As the dragon flies off over the city, you can see there is like smoke rising from this area, from the court, where just the lightning seems to have burned things as it spread. And as you guys get further and further away from the city, heading outwards, that's where we're gonna end it for bang on the 11. Oh, look at the timing.
Fuck the time.
Can I
killed
just-
4 wyverns
just-
and add an eyeball? Let's go. Like,
Can I just
You
ask him as we're flying away, what the fuck just happened?
I'll explain it all when we get to Zingoth.
I look
Zingoth.
at the map. Where's that?
man, I
Zingoth
Uh,
is a
now.